belong to the Western Wilds, an unspoiled wilderness waiting to be tamed. Can we build a successful farm here, starting with just £50 and an old truck? Only one way to find out. Let's get farming. So welcome to a brand new survival series. Yeah, we are going to be making our home here in the Western Wilds. I am just pulling in here. In fact, we'll stop our truck because I want to talk about how we're going to do things on here. We do just have £50 to start with, and if we have a quick look at our truck, you can see here as well, it has a lot of hours on it and is only worth £901 itself. So at most, starting with here, we have just £961, including the value of our truck. So obviously we have an issue. Looking at the fields here and looking at a cost of any of these areas, it's 85,000 to buy any land. So we can't do that. There's no loans on this series either, so we're not having any loans to do or anything like that. Instead, we're going to use something that this map has, which is really, really cool and something I've not really done so far. We are going to fund everything on here and get everything started by using the gold nuggets. So I'll show you what I mean by this. If we head up the top of here, I believe I found one around here somewhere. Is it up the top of here? Yeah. There are 10 gold nuggets scattered around. I think it's 10. It might be 20 scattered around the map. And if we pick up one of these, so we'll bring this up. So R to collect it. It gives us £50,000. So I'm going to start off by collecting 3 of these gold nuggets. We do have a map located on the farm. On the map, there is a place, but I have managed to seek out a couple of them initially. I think there's another one back this way. I think actually it's on the roof of one of these buildings over here. Yeah, I think there's one on the roof of here as well. So we'll grab that too. And get up here. Yeah, there's another one around here. So that gives us 100,000 to get started with. And then we should be able to find one more around here somewhere. In fact, let's head over to the gold hut and see if we can't find another one on this map. Because those are the 2 that I knew where they were. Now, I don't want to overload myself with cash. So this is why I'm only looking to get 3 of these to start with. Give ourselves a nice little base. See if we can build up from that. What I want to find out is how few nuggets can we rely on to get started here. We know we need 85,000 to get a piece of farmland, so we've got that. In fact, yeah, so the whole idea of this series is how few nuggets can we rely on, and in fact I'm quite happy with the nuggets that we've got. Just for those who want to know where the hut is on the map, you can see it over here. It does give you the locations, and when you pick up a gold nugget, it does turn the pin to green. So, yeah, it looks like 20 gold nuggets, just to confirm that. Yeah, where we are here, I believe there's another one on a post over there. But, yeah, so one of the aims of this series is to see if we can get by with grabbing as few of these nuggets as we can. We need to get 2 to get started because we can't buy any land if we don't have at least 100,000. If we don't have at least 85,000. And after that, though, 15,000 might be enough to get a tractor and some stuff to start working some of this grass. So let's head up to where I want to purchase, and we will get the land bought. So as you saw in the intro, there's a fairly rundown ranch at the center of this, and this is split over 2 of the areas. I want to have a look at this area here to see if we can't purchase this. So where we are at the moment is here in area 25. There is 85,000 for that. As you can see as well, we are not using precision farming at the moment. So I'm not going with that on here. As far as I know, Western Wilds doesn't have its own precision farming soil maps, so that's why I've avoided that. I'm looking at this actually, and looking at 25 and looking at 26. Well, 26 has a bigger farm area, a bigger part of the ranch. It also has a sizable field up there and a little bit of grass there. I think I might have a quick drive around. Let's have a quick drive around this and just see what is on our 2 sides. We got a very sizable area here for us to do stuff. We're going to have to be doing animals. We're going to have to be doing other bits and pieces. And it actually looks like we might have an animal area over here to get us started. That would be really good. And in fact, there's a house and looks like an old grain store. Oh, yeah, this is what we want. We've got an old boarded up house here. I think we want to purchase this area here, and this will be a great place to get us started. So we're going to start off in area 26 here. I'm going to buy that. Yes, please. And I don't know if there's any way of doing up this. The Alien Jim is great at building stuff into his maps where you can do stuff up and make changes. And I can't see anything here, unfortunately, that would allow me to do that. Oh, wow, we've got rubbish bags everywhere. We won't be able to move those. So, yeah, I wonder if there is something, some way we can we demolish this house? So we've got, oh, we can. Oh, wow, it will cost us 6,000 to demolish the house. We've got abandoned silos. Yep, so those silos. So to clean the farm up is going to cost us money as well. So we're going to have to spend money to do that. I think all of the pens and everything might be abandoned ones as well. So yeah, if we're going to put animal stuff in here too, we are going to have to clear these pens out. I'm just looking at this. Yeah, abandoned chicken shed. Oh, so none of these are usable. All of these need to be demolished. Yeah, abandoned manure system. So all of this is going to cost us to clear. So we won't be doing that straight off. Let's turn our truck off. What we do need to do, though, is probably head down to the shop and see if we can't get ourselves a tractor. So we're back where we started a minute ago and found our first couple of gold nuggets. We've got the shop here. And really, with this series, there was only one tractor that I really wanted to start with. I've been trying to have it on a series for a while. Bought it into the role play, the realism role play, and it didn't quite. Well, the series didn't quite work. It's listed under medium tractors, and it's, of course, this the 1974 David Brown 1210 1410. 60 horsepower is the basic setup, and I think I want to put a couple of bits on it. It's only 8,000 on the 1210, whereas it's Oh, it's actually no more expensive to get the higher powered 1410. So we'll go with the 1410. We're gonna keep the standard stuff. I'm gonna put the ROPS on the back of it, just to give it a little bit of extra stuff. Fender lights will go with 1. Reflector triangle, no. Stock exhaust, no GPS, especially on a tractor like this. We're not going on the road, and we have no number plate on it, and we can put that on as well. I think I could possibly put a front loader on it, but I'm gonna hold off on that for the moment. We will probably want one eventually. I don't think, yeah, I can put a front loader setup on it, but for now I'm just gonna put a front weight on. And yeah, for 8,000, because it doesn't cost anything for any of the upgrades on this, which is great for us, we will buy ourselves that tractor. And then to go with it, we're going to need to start with a mower. So I've got, with 80 horsepower here, we can go up to, we can go up to the larger Nova disc, which is great news. We will have the swath plate on it, and yeah, 8,500. I think this will be a great little mower to have. Design color, yeah, we'll leave that as standard. Now this is 8,500. We do not have enough for this, so I'm going to have to lease the mower. And I think a lot of the initial equipment stuff, we are probably going to have to do a bit of leasing. There are some older, smaller bits. These, wow. 1.8 meters, 2.4 versus 3.5. Now, I could have bought these, admittedly. Those would, yeah, 2.4. Actually, how much would a windrower cost me? Let's have a look. Because this is going to cost a lot less, but we don't have a cheap windrower. I think I might have to go and have a look for a cheap windrower or something like that, and maybe sort that. For now, we'll go with this setup here. We'll jump in with our David Brown. We'll hook up the mower, and we can start getting some grass cut, because if we cut some grass, we'll start defining some fields and making things easier for us. And with 6,000, yeah, I know what I want to do. We're going to need to go and place something at the farm. Look at the height of that. And this is why I put the weight on the front of this. With such a limited starting budget, we're going to have to be so very, very careful with what we do. We need to make sure that we can load up whatever we do with this. In fact, as you probably guessed, my plan is to do a bit of silage on here to start us off. We know we can cut this. We know it will probably create a field doing that. And so if I unfold our mower like that, and this is why also I got this mower with the setup so that it's swathing it as well, because we should be able to come along here and hit it with a and immediately get this picked up. So if we can do that, we might be able to get a cheap silage pit put down, cheap silage area, and then make a bit of cash. We've also got a lot of bushes and things in here. Oh, have we actually got some trees on our property as well? If we have, that would be great too, because we can cut those down and make a little bit of cash from the wood there without spending too much money. So while our silage is doing that, we might see if we can cut a couple of trees, make a little bit of wood, and yeah, make a little bit more money that way. This is going to be a good start, though. I think this is a great setup for us to make our first bit of cash. Maybe before winter we can get 2 cuts of this done and make a little bit of money to start the farm off properly in the new year. This mower does look a little bit big on this tractor, but it hasn't made the tractor tip at all. I think the weight distribution is actually all right. So I was a little bit worried about that, but we seem to be okay. I'm going to go this side of this tree. Yeah, this tree is definitely going to have to come out one way or the other. So if we can make a bit of money from it, that would be great. As you can see, that's not an overly straight line behind us. So, yeah, it makes sense to get this tree taken out. And then we can very nicely make probably a good grass field down here. I think we might try and put a fence in or something just to mark out the edge. One thing I want to make sure I do on here is create some interesting field shapes. Like we did on No Man's Land, I will go with how things are kind of laid out on here and see if we can build our farm a little bit around that. I mean, there are some pretty big open plains on this, so I don't think we're going to have a huge amount of trouble. But with this size of tractor, we are going to have fun managing things, and it's going to be similar when we get a combine and things like that. Because, yeah, we're not going to be able to handle particularly big fields. So we're going to have to temper how we do things a little bit just to make sure that we don't end up taking too long to do particular things. Like my last series on Court Farm, I will be doing single-day months. So especially initially, we're going to be doing it that way. And like that series, I'm looking at doing about 24 episodes on here as well. So we'll see how everything shakes out. At the moment, I'm pretty positive about everything, to be honest. Final little bit, and that has got all of the grass on this bit cut. So lift that up, turn it off, and then we want to go and have a look at this other bit. So we've got a large area over here that we can cut as well. Sort of this bit out here is pretty massive for us to do. And I'm actually kind of glad that I got this end of the yard now, because it is going to be the better bit to take, I think. We'll go across here. We will take this to here. And I'm basically going to run the lines along the edge. So we'll make sure that we are at 0 degrees. We do have a tree in the middle of this field. Right, there we go. Turn it on. Drop it down. All right. Let's see if we can get this cut today as well. That would be really good. We would have a fair amount of grass to make some silage from if we did. It seems from where I'm cutting, actually, I could go a little bit further over on this other field. Looking at it, in fact, I did initially. You can see here, if I cut there and just keep going along roughly the same line I am now, that it meets up. So we'll just make sure that this is all lined up and working as we should be. Yeah, that goes quite a way out. And yeah, there we go. There's the you don't have access note, which is not bad at all. Yeah, there's a fair amount of stuff that we can collect up today and fill something with. I'm liking this. We've got a lot to work with here, and yeah, over the winter I plan to start making these actual fields. So we'll get a good cut of grass from both of these, get some money coming off them, And then I think the bigger one we will start dividing up a little bit, because we're gonna need other feed. If we're gonna do chickens, if we're gonna do cows, we're gonna need feed other than just grass and silage. We're gonna need some wheat, and we're gonna need some straw. And so yeah, lots to do on that. And of course we've got to make our own hay as well. So lots of stuff that we'll need to do ourselves on here, because we just can't do any contracts or anything like that. There are no contracts for us to work on here. I'm going to use this tree here to divide where we're cutting in on the field, so that I can slowly work my way out. I want to go at 90 degrees, and yeah, I am way too close to the tree. We'll maneuver around it a bit, like so, and then away we go. Make sure we're 90 degrees. Yes, we are. That's got it. And now just straight out across the field until we hit the other side. And yeah, that way we're doing smaller turnarounds and not just going around the ends. We definitely need to plow all of this up and get rid of all these bushes. That is not a great thing. I'm also finding that some areas of this field or this grass just have no grass, so we end up not actually getting anything when we cut it. So yeah, we want to try and avoid that as well. All in all though, yeah, I think we're going to get a decent amount of grass off here for our first lot of silage. So having got about a third of the field cut this way, what we can now do is start to work on the 2 bits either end. That way we end up not traveling so far, so we can go round each side, go around the end and just work these in. In fact, what I think I'm going to do is start on the top one over there, and then work our way back towards the farm. So we'll do one more turn here before we start actually working on these end bits. And you can see it's roughly that amount. This is a decent sized field. We are going to have to split it, I think. Otherwise I'm going to end up with just too much to work on one place. Plus, as I said, we need to get a variety of crops in. We need to get so that we are in a position where we're pulling in more than just wheat or more than just silage and stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna see what we can do as far as mixing this up a bit. We don't have a lot of landmarks and stuff to go on here, so these might end up being fairly rectangular fields to start off with, but we'll have some space to get some crops in. I'm probably going to leave the 2 trees that we've got in this field and let them be something that we have to work around a little bit, just to make them a little bit more interesting. These areas here are the areas that do not seem to drop any grass. So yeah, we do have areas on here that are not producing anything anyway. So even where we're looking to put grass areas in, we are still going to need to replant those with grass. So gonna need a plow and going to need a seeder, and that is something we're gonna have to raise money for by the new year. I really love the detail on this David Brown mod. It is a very, very beautiful mod. It does have a couple of small issues. As far as I can tell, it doesn't have a wear map on it. So it's always going to look to be this pristine and restored. I'm not sure it has a dirt map either. Yeah, I'm not sure whether it does have those bits on it. However, I do really love it. I love that there's a decent David Brown in game that I can sit in cab like this and play like this. It would be nice to have a cab, but I will settle for the open top version here. And yeah, it's nice to have it on here. We've got some other old tractors and things that we may pull into this series. I've got some old Fords and things like that. Obviously the 10 series is always an option as well. So yeah, we might see what comes up in the sales and things. But certainly for 8 grand to start with, I think this was a good choice of tractor, and it seems to be running this mower fairly well at the moment. And hopefully it'll continue to run most of what we need it to on the farm. Final row of grass. We'll get this all cut, and we've still got a decent amount of time today, so maybe we might be able to get this collected as well, which would be really good news. So end of the row, we'll bring this up here. Yeah, just go through those bit, turn that off, fold it up. Going up. There we go, and up, and then fold it. Right, so we'll go put this down around by the abandoned house. We're gonna have to do something about somewhere to sleep, I think. Maybe put a tent down or something. It would be really nice if you could repair up these buildings. I would absolutely love that if that was a feature. But yeah, eventually I think we'll have to put our own house down here. Let's put this up down here. We will disconnect all of that. I'm gonna head down to the shop and we'll see if we can get something to pick up all of this grass. One thing I have noticed about this tractor is its fuel consumption. We are nearing half a tank, having just done that single job today. That's quite a rate at which it's drinking the fuel, this 1410. Now we need a forage wagon to pick stuff up. I think, oh, here we go. We've got this SIP forage wagon here. Holds 13. Yeah, so holds more than the others do, which is good. And yeah, would be a really great one. A larger fill volume. Design wood or aluminium. I think we'll go with wood. Keep it fairly simple. And I think I'm going to go lower attachment because of the tractor I've got. Main color, I can go black, red, or white. I'm going to go white, and rim color will go with the white rims as well. Yeah, I like that a lot. Similarly, no number plates on this as well. Now, we're going to have to lease this because 3,600. While we have the money to buy it, it is going to cause us a problem as far as doing anything else. So 183, I will happily lease that for. Our leasing costs are fairly low with these pieces of equipment. So yeah, this will work fairly well for us. Because we're going to need somewhere to put this. And I have got something that should work. So connect. Yeah, low attachment, definitely the way to go. We'll head back down there now, and we'll see how quickly all this grass fills this. 16,000 litres. I'm expecting us to have to do a few loads, and I'm hoping we get a really decent amount of grass off here to start making some silage from. I think I could at least some one of the smaller and older mowers and cut my costs down quite nicely. Oh, let's unfold it, turn it on, drop it down. You know, sort of being in keeping, and I might still do that, reduce my leasing costs. Was good to get this first cut done with that, with the really big setup, but yeah, I'm thinking if I can find an older windrower that we can use on the back of this as well. That will work fairly well. We are already a quarter full off one side of this. I think we're going to have a lot of journeys with this to get this whole field done, which is both good news and bad news all at once. Yeah, we're going to have a decent amount of grass off here because we haven't even made it around one headland and we are just about full. In fact, there we go. We're full. So now we need to go and find somewhere to tip this and start making some silage out of it. And to do that, we are going to have to put down our own silage clamp. Just need to work out the best place to put this. So yeah, we need an inexpensive silage clamp. We've got 6,400. I could put that one in, which is a medium one, but I think we'll go with the small one for now, just to try and keep our costs low. We can get that at 90 degrees there. Yep. And do I put it here or do we go and put it somewhere over this way? You know what? I'm going to put it here, down the side there. Do we need to do anything else today? No, I'm really thinking we're going to go into the red if I do that, and I need to get a chainsaw. So, yeah, we will put this in and put this here. These can be temporary, so we don't need to worry too much about it. I just don't know how much silage I'm going to fit, or how much of this I'm going to fit in this small one. It is a small one. That's my biggest worry. Right, let's start emptying out. And yeah, we're going to fill this as much as we can. And, oh, wow. Yeah. That already, just off that one trailer, that's quite a bit in there. I don't know how high this will go. Getting that small silo might have been my first mistake on here. We are up to 97% full on our second set. It's tough because the bit we've got, we have had the large version of it, and the large version of it held a lot of silage. So I'm kind of hoping that the same is going to be true of this, that we can fit more in this clamp than I think I can. If I can get, I kind of want 100,000 liters, I think, in here. This should be able to hold that. This is, you know, silage clamps hold a lot of stuff normally. It's whether we can get the tractor onto here each time to actually tip. Because, yeah, look at that. Right. Tip that. Oh, that missed. When it misses, it can cause real issues. Right, we need to get that off the floor here. And get that picked up. So, pick that all up. And, whoop, then we'll see if we can pick the other bit up. Of course, we don't have a bucket or anything on this tractor. So, we can't do that way either. I've got to pick up more than I want to in order to, there we go, get this, turn that off, pull this onto here, yeah, and then tip it, and yeah, that's inside, good. Oh, so that already is how much? Yeah, 23,000 liters. Off just 2 loads. I am gonna need to get a lot more in here, I think. This would be the perfect time to use the silage clamps down at the BGA, but I don't think I can without owning that part of the map. That's the downside to it. We might have to... Yeah, I think it's going to be a case of getting some more money in and going from there. I think we need to cut down a couple of trees, see if we can get some money in for the wood, hopefully be able to make enough money even with picking it up by hand, because that's going to be an issue if the amount of weight versus the amount of money could be a big problem. Worst case scenario, we'll have to dip into that big well of gold nuggets that are kicking around here and go and get another one of those. I don't want to do that. As I said, the whole plan here is how far can we get on the smallest amount of money like that. It is a bit of a crutch and I want to avoid using it if I can. But yeah, it may be that we have to do that just to get ourselves moving again, or we just end up getting all of this done. Oh man, and going from there. Yeah, that now you cannot see any other part of this on that side. It's on there and it's a pretty big heap. I'm guessing as a heap it is not very compact at the moment. Yes, 7% compact. It is spilling over the edges. I do not know how well that will ferment. Maybe we'll try and get one more load on it. It's still taking it, so yeah, who knows. So this will be our last load for today. I think we can put a bit on the far end, maybe. Where is the best place to put this? Oh, there is no good place to put this. I think there's most space is at this end here. We are definitely going to need a bigger silage clamp, though. I think the other one was like 10,000 for the biggest, and I could probably have put that here, and I'm not worried about filling that. This is definitely pretty full. I need to get this on here. Oh, it is going on. Yep. That is looking very full. I think we're going to have to get a blade or something to sort this as well. We have 63,444 liters on there. And we're going to have to try and push some of this back on because obviously it has come out a little bit. I don't know. I think this is going to be interesting. We definitely need to get a bigger silage clamp. Quite a bright morning here on the Western Wilds. And yeah, it was quite comfortable in my tent last night. So I picked up a couple of things after we finished last time. I placed a tent down here. So that was about £500, I think. And then I've also bought a chainsaw so that we can get cutting some trees. Now, I'm going to have to cut trees in two ways. One, so that we can fit them in our flatbed here. And the other is they can only be cut long enough for me to actually be able to pick them up. As far as I can work out, though, we don't need a huge amount of money. The cheapest way, I think, for us to clean up the rest of this grass here is going to be to get a fermenting silo. The first tree I'm actually going to take is this one here. It's right in the middle of our grass field. It gets in the way, We need to make sure it falls on our land, otherwise we won't be able to cut it and pick it up. So hopefully this will fall the right way. Yeah. Ah, fantastic. Zigzag along the tree. That is the easiest way to clear all the branches off. If I can pick up this length here, I think we're going to be good. We'll see how long that is. That's 3.1 meters, so that's not horrible. Ah, it is too heavy for me to pick up, though. If I cut this in half, we should be able to pick up that. Yes. And, oh, 1.5 meters. Actually, pretty perfect for our truck. Yeah, 1.4 meters, so slightly longer than this one. We're going to use a measuring log, basically, just to keep things going. So we'll put this in the back of the truck. And this one here is 1.7. We can lift 1.7. They get gradually longer. This is pretty much going to fill our truck. This first tree, which is good news. We want to basically, make this as easy as possible for us. Yeah, we'll strap all this down in a minute. That one across. And then the last one. So I've heard the BGA on here is quite a good price as well. So if we can get that eventually to sell off, to sell stuff on, that would be great. But at the moment, I'm not too worried. Strap all that wood down. We'll have a look, and yeah, look at that. That's pretty good. So where do we want to be taking wood? Best place at the moment is the train yard. It is off to the side here. In fact, I think that's pretty close to where the gold shed is. So we'll head down there. I didn't really talk about this truck yesterday. We've got the TLX 1982. This is the classic version of it with a little bit of rust and a little bit beat up. I figured it was a pretty good match for what we were doing on here. So I wanted to grab it. We've set it up so it's only worth about £1,000. So quite happy with that. Right, this is our train yard. I think I see a bit at the end that might be wood sales. Yeah, okay. So here's hoping that we just undo this. Look at this. That's a nice warm fire there. Right, and if we go here, 1,209. That is a little bit lower than I'd hoped. Yeah, it's gonna take us nearly 10 trees to get this done. So I wanna, yeah, we're gonna need to do it. Ah, there's where the sound came from. We had a train coming through. So we can cut anything that's on this side here. We've got stuff everywhere that's all broken down. I really would like to have had a whole repair this up thing for these. That would have been absolutely brilliant. Oh, I think we might be able to thin. We're right on the edge here. Might be able to thin this down a bit then. Right. Let's try taking this tree this way. It will let me cut this tree. That's good, because it's right on the boundary of our land. I'm going to take out this one as well. This one's quite a thick one, I think. There we go. And if we can get a 2-meter cut at this base, that would be great. It does worry me as to whether we might get a 2-meter cut. Oh, that pushed this tree back. Can I cut this tree? Okay, we'll try it. No. Ah, no, this is a problem. I unfortunately don't have a winch on the front of this. That would have been really, really useful. But yeah, the winch is not something that we have access to. So I'm going to try and cut this. Oh, this is going to be hefty. Let's cut this here. See how this does. And then go from there. That is quite a thick log. 1.6 is too heavy. Yeah. Oh, even the really nice thick stuff we can't make the most out of because we just can't lift it. We don't have the ability at the moment. Oh, wow. 1.9 I can't even do. Oh, that one I can. So that end one, that is too heavy. This one here, that is not. So I've had to cut the bottom section of this tree very much into smaller logs. Everything on here is under a meter so far. And it's kind of required that in order to even be able to just pick them up. So I'm going to cut a couple more like this. It is filling the trailer. So it is filling the truck bed quite nicely. But I don't know if any of this is going to be worth that much. I think that this would probably have been better doing some wood chips from these. Because that is a lot of stuff in the boot of this. I'm not sure if it's going to make us any money. These are so much shorter than those nice big logs that are on there. Let's see. I think this is going to be under £1,000. No, 1,374. Wow. I'm actually surprised by that. That means the tree that we have at the moment is actually going to be worth a lot of money to us. Great. Oh, if we can keep this up, then we'll be doing well. We are, yeah, we're at 3,500. We need to do a few more trips and see if we can get this anywhere near 10,000. If we can get this to 10,000 today, that is going to change everything. So yeah, we've really not cut much of this tree so far. Right, we should be able to cut longer lengths now. I'm going to go with about this. Hoping that this is going to be enough for me to pick up. Oh, it's too heavy. Yeah, it's a 2 meter length. So these are going to be two single meter ones. Not much I can do about that. Oh, those will fit across the way like that, though, which is fine. But we end up with about £1,000 per load, which means that this tree would be worth about £3,000, which is great. 3-4 grand. That's brilliant. That's going to reduce the number of trees that we have to cut to get all this done. Everything is locked down. Yeah. Another nice full trailer, or a nice full flatbed. I want to clarify something from the first episode. So we started off by grabbing 2 gold nuggets on here. The plan very much is to not get any more. If I can work my way up now without having to do anything else. There we go, 1,320. Awesome. If I can work my way up and not have to get any more nuggets, I will consider that a success on this series. I think getting a couple enough to buy me my first piece of land and then to get my first really basic equipment, that has been absolutely what I want. We should be able now to work our way up and sort ourselves out here. 1.8 meters, and yes, I can pick that up. Wow, the top end of this tree takes up so much less space than the rest of the tree did. What I'm going to do then, because we have a fair amount, is we'll try at this point to see if we can get this tree sorted. We'll get this out. Yeah, I know I'm not allowed to cut this tree here, but I can defoliate it apparently. we'll just cut the end off, which is worth nothing. We can now take this tree here, or this log here, and get some rough estimates. Cut the top end of the tree. I keep catching the wrong button. And bang there. And there. And we'll cut this until it won't let me cut it anymore. Truck. In fact, this might be the last bit I can pick up at this size. Yeah, there we go. Right, let's load this up. The next tree I cut, I want to cut one like the first tree I found, not this second one. We have cut most of the tree. We've got it mostly on this trailer, plus the remains of the other tree. And this is not going to be worth any more money than the other tree was. Right, into the wood sell point again and sell it. Wow. Okay, 1,520. Is the price going up? It kind of feels like the price is going up at the moment. 3,500 to go. A couple more loads like that, and we would be there. We will get the money that we are after. I wonder if there's a way we can nudge this to get this where I need it to be. It is very annoying not having the winch on here. The winch would have been a very, very useful thing to have had. Okay, I think we're all right. Push it forward with the wheel. Carefully. And then we should be able to cut the rest of this tree. Oh, I do love this truck. The TLX 1982 is just brilliant. Just like, actually, all of 82 Squared Studios stuff. Right, we're going for under 0.5 meter with the bottom half of this. And I'm going to try and cut everything to roughly that length. I think we're going to fit more than this in there, which is why I'm not worried about doing all these small cuts. We're going to go and find another big tree and fill it up with that. And I'm going to go and find a tall tree from the middle. That one there. Right in the dead center. Let's cut this down. I think I'd quite like to replant all of this anyway, or rework this yard. Something to sort of rework how everything in here goes would be nice. Has that got stuck in the other tree? That's got stuck in the other tree. Don't try this at home, kids. This is not a safe way to do this. Right. And then I'm going to cut the other part out. And we'll take the part we got here in the middle, which will be stuck in the tree still with me. Should be able to pick that up. Yep. And we can take that out. How big is that? That is a 2 meter stretch. So I've cut a bunch of logs at the bottom here. All of them are around about 1 meter in length. So should all fit on here quite nicely. Right, I think I've jammed about as much into this trailer as I can. Strap it all down. Yeah, oh wow. That is looking very overfull, and I'm betting this is gonna rock side to side like mad. Let's see. Oh yeah, look at that. Wow. Right, we'll see how this does. We've been slowly creeping up in the amount of money, which kind of tells me that the price has been going up all day. 1,544. We are just £2,000 shy of our targets. £2,100 shy. I don't think we can do that in a single run. So, yeah. 2 more runs it's going to be, but we should have a little bit extra on top. This truck has been far more fuel efficient than our tractor was yesterday. Wow, we are in such a better place with this. Open the back, and we've got a 1 meter. Yeah, we've got two 1 meter slices here. So I'm going to go a little bit longer with this next slice and just see if we can pick that up and push it a little bit more. No, too heavy. So that's the thing. Okay, so we got a set of 1 meter logs here. The last one is just under 2 meters, so I'm going to put that on first because it's fairly long. Rest of these, though, nice length, good uniform setup, and yeah, should be fairly easy to get all of these loaded on here and get them transported down to the station again. Little bit of careful stacking. And, ooh, don't want that falling on my head. And we should be able to fit all of this on. Yeah, there we are. Right. Do that down. I don't think the back is going to actually close. I'll give it a try, but I think it's gonna... Oh, no, it has. Let's just not spend too long with all of this on here. I think it might explode otherwise. Well, we made it down to the sell point. They're all still on there, just. Let's see how much it's worth. 1,782. Oh, wow. That is so close. We are just over £300 from the money we need today. So let's get back to the farm. Let's get the last of the wood loaded on, and we can then sell that and sort out that mess we've made. Right, here's the last of it. So we only need £307. I think we can get that from the remains of this tree. Get things set up and start clearing our fields of grass, ready for that to regrow and hopefully get another cut before the end of the year. We can get an October or November cut. That would be great. Ready to sell off a whole load of silage in December, which is normally on most maps when the best price for silage is. Strap that down. So last load of wood. Still looking like a fairly full trailer, which is great news. Not going to be worth so much, but as long as we get the money we need, we're all good. Okay, so the moment of truth. Is this going to be enough for us to complete this? Bring this into here. And bam, 1,080. We have the money we need. Right, let's get this back to the farmyard then, and we can now buy the fermenting silo. We can get it placed, and we can start getting some grass fermenting. Custom fermenting silo for 10,000. Right, and ideally, I don't want to put it intersecting the line. So, oh, this is not huge. I do not know what the capacity of this is, and that is the only thing that's worrying me at the moment. But putting it in here, slightly back and not hitting the railing. There. Right, that is all of our money that we had today now used for this. 10,023 grass silage. 100 grass makes 95 silage. Production cost per month is £24. We will collect up a load of grass. We'll get it into the fermenting silo, and we'll see how we do and see how its capacity is. But yeah, if we can get these fields cleared today, that will be great. I'm also going to get a mod that when I cut the grass, it also gets rid of the bushes. I think that would be a really great mod to have, especially with how we're set up on here. I'm also thinking of replacing the mower, which we currently have leased, with a smaller mower and windrower, which more fits with our rustic setup here. You might be wondering, why have I gone for a fermenting silo over a silage clamp? Just getting a bigger silage clamp. Mainly because we don't really have the equipment to deal with the silage clamp. This tractor isn't very heavy. We don't have a front loader on it or anything. And I was going for simplicity. Using a fermenting silo, we don't need to get a front loader immediately. We can get this tractor still working everything. We can use our forage wagon here to fill up with silage once we're finished, because I believe that takes it. And even if not, I can go and grab a trailer that we can go and sell stuff with, and just work it all that way. It'll work much better for us. We won't have to spend any more money trying to get ourselves out of the situation we're currently in. I forgot to unfold the top of the trailer, and now it looks a bit weird. It won't let me unfold it at the moment. So once I've emptied this out, we'll see if it works. Overloads, and in it goes into the silo, and then we can get it started on fermenting the grass. Oh wow, we have so much space in this silo. This was definitely the right choice. So grass silo, activate, and yeah, now we are creating grass silage in our fermenting silo, which is absolutely perfect. At some point I will probably get a rear bucket or something and start emptying that silage clamp we've got. But for now, that is working really well. We will empty, or we'll get the rest of the grass off this field, then fill this up and see where we are at the end of the day. So we've hit the orange with the tractor. So what I'm going to have to do is take this tractor. We'll head up to here because it's closer. And yeah, we'll get some fuel in this. I'm hoping that doesn't mean we're going to have to go and make some more, cut some more trees in order to get things going again. But yeah, we do need to put some fuel in this tractor. Don't think it takes a huge amount. There seems to be a fuel station here. So, right, let's turn the tractor off. Refill it, and I'm not gonna go below 5,000, but tractor only takes 81 liters, so yeah, £95 that cost me to fill up. Not bad at all. The time is coming up to 5:30. We are on our 4th or 5th load, I think, off here today. So we've got all the stuff that's sitting in the silage clamp as well. But we are doing really well. We have already made enough silage to pay for the silo. It's amazing. Oh, I've got my pickup lifted. Let's reverse up here and just get this back in and down. But yeah, we've already made enough. If we have a look here at our stock check, we've got 49,000 liters of silage. Its current value is 22,000. Its max value is 25,000. And that's because it's actually going through the grass fairly quickly in the silage, which I'm really pleased about. Now, it is a little bit fast, I do know that, but we're not looking to immediately sell it anyway. So the speed with which it's doing the fermenting is actually neither here nor there. We're looking to sell in December, and we're gonna go from there. Worst case is I might sell a trailer full just in sort of October time, so that we can get so we can replace our mower, because our current mower is a little bit modern, I think, and I'd like to get a mower and separate windrower that's a little bit more in keeping with this tractor, and might just slow us down a little bit, because we are getting an awful lot off of here really quickly. Well, the big field is nearly clear. It's just turned 6 o'clock, and I am so pleased with how well things have turned around today. We've got that little strip here to do. We've got the field over the other side to clear up, so we'll get all of that done next time. We might go and sell a little bit of the silage as well. See if we can get a bit of money in. I mean, it'll bring in 4 or 5 grand. I'm thinking very much, as I said, of getting rid of the mower that we've got at the moment, and replacing it with 2 separate pieces of equipment. Let's just tip this here and we can have a quick look at those. So tip this. And so the mower we have at the moment is this one here, which costs us a fair amount each month, I think. The cost on that to lease each month, yeah, per day is costing us 85, plus 178 per work hour. Whereas if we were to get something like this at 2.4 meters, only a meter less, I think this would be a pretty good way to do it. Oh, mechanical lifting or hydraulic lifting. Yeah, we can do the hydraulic lifting. Only 3,000 for that, so that would be great. And then we have the choice of a windrower as well, which would fit a similar sort of age. And that is this one here, this Russell Mash for 1,300. I really quite like this. And oh yeah, we could go the blue and yellow colors on it as well. And that has quite a big width, 6.5 meters. So yeah, let me know in the comments. What do you think? Should we go with that setup? I think that would be a pretty nice one to go with. So to start off with today, we're going to be collecting up the rest of the grass that we've got kicking around on the field. I'm not going to spend too long doing this, or I'm not going to dwell on it too much, because we spent a lot of the first 2 videos doing exactly this job. So I want to get this cleared and out of the way fairly quickly. If we can then get the silage clamp there cleared off pretty quick after that, that would be great. I have an idea what I'm going to do for that, and we're going to actually hire a piece of equipment for that, because it's not something we're going to be doing long term. So hiring a bit of equipment and returning it should be fine. We have £480 in the bank. And I'm actually slightly surprised by that. I was expecting us to actually have run out of money at this point. So for us to be in a position where we are able to actually lease a bit of equipment at this point is absolutely fantastic. To get the new equipment that I want, I think what we're going to have to do, though, is sell off a bit of the silage early that we've already got. So we're going to give that a try. I've forgotten to unfold my silage trailer again. Never mind, we'll be fine. And you can see actually in these fields the grass is already growing back really nicely. So yeah, a November cut of grass I think is very much on the cards. We've got an interesting issue running up the side of our field over here. It's telling me that we don't have access to the land. So it looks like this very edge here, we're not going to be able to pick up some of the grass. A little bit annoying that, but we'll see what we can do to make sure we can pick up enough of it as possible. Might be that having a windrower to pull in from the sides is going to be a very, very useful piece of equipment going forwards. And that brings us up to having all the grass collected up. We are actually at 3/4 of a trailer. We've already delivered 2 trailers off here, but that is pretty cool. 78% of that. Now, before I head back to the yard, I have noticed something as I've been driving backwards and forwards. There's an information box here with the electricity. Oh, turn the electric humming on and off. Okay, I wondered what that was. It's yeah, it's not much that happens. It's a little bit more realistic for that to be humming. So yeah, let's go tip this into our silo, get this fermenting, and then I'm going to take my tractor up to the shop because we need to get hold of something that is going to allow us to empty that silage clamp. While we're up here at the shop, I think I'm going to refill the tractor with fuel. We're down to half a tank already again. And it makes sense to keep refilling this tractor often. It'll only cost us about £40 to fill it up. Yeah, 47 in total. But that will do the job. Keep us moving. I do like actually how often I have to fill this up. It's quite appropriate, I think. Filling the tractor up every day just makes sense to me. Right, into the shop. And I've decided on this series, I'm going to move very much towards doing a classic equipment series on here. So looking for stuff that's maybe 1990s at the latest. Our tractor is from 1974. The piece of equipment I want to start with is not that I did consider this Horsch, right? But it's 5,500 and that's going to cost us quite a bit. So, under front loader tools, I think it is. Yeah, we've got this, a Cavernan silage fork. This is pretty old, as you can tell from the Cavernan logo. We are going to put 3-point attachment on it with spikes. Main color, we've got either old Cavernan red or Cavernan red. And design color, I can go with the green. Or the old. You know what? I'm going to go with the green. We're only really going to be using this today. We need to use this to empty our silage pit. It's £500 to buy it, but we only have 355 left. As we're only using it today, we're going to lease it. It's only £25 to lease it. And that is pretty perfect for what we need. So we'll back this up here. And yeah, if we can get this silage clamp emptied, we might be able to sell it, get some of the £5,000 we spent on it, getting it purchased in the first place, get some of that back. We should get about £2.5 grand, and that should keep us going a little bit. Certainly should give us enough to initially lease a new mower and windrower and get something a little bit older than our current mowing setup, and yeah, start us on that path to be doing a proper classic survival series. I really love the look of these spikes on the back of this tractor. It looks absolutely brilliant, and this is the reason why I kind of want to go with the classic survival series and this series morphing into that, because very much that feels pretty cool. Now I'm hoping that what I'm going to be able to do is just stick these into this. Oh, is this going to... It won't lower any further down. I don't think I can angle it. Let's see. Oh yeah, there we go. That angles. That's right down. Yeah, my side panel wasn't doing that, but we should be able to just go like that. Pick this up. Bring this round to here. And it holds 1,700 liters, but yeah, straight in. So yeah, we will be able to empty our silage clamp here and get all of this into here without too much fuss. I am very, very pleased about that. Although I am slightly tempted just to get this to the point where we can cover the clamp and leave that fermenting so that we don't have any issues. Although, of course, that means we won't be able to easily buy new equipment. We'd have to go and sell some silage to do that. I think we had 3 or 4 trailer fulls in here, which is sort of 30 odd back and forths. I also managed to tip one a little bit close to the actual input and it's missed, so we might have to get a spade on here, which in itself is not a bad shout. Right, back it up, fill it up, grab it, turn around, and yeah, lots of this. I wonder actually, can I bring this here and empty it in like that? Oh, that's gonna change everything. I can very quickly back and forth now and just fill this up, drive forwards, tip it here, and not have to worry too much. Wow. Okay, we're about to speed things up. I do wonder though what would happen if I sold the clamp out from under this. Would it leave the pile here? Or would it end up causing me more problems? It might be easier if the silo wasn't here under this. I might give that a go in a moment. We're certainly gonna have to sell silo off without having got everything out, because there's no way to get the stuff that's currently over the wheel or over the tires out and done. So yeah. There is going to be a little bit of finagling to get things sorted. We've got 31,000 litres, 30,000 litres left in here now. So that is going to mean that we've got a fair amount of work still to do. It's probably about 18 more trips back and forth, which is not too bad. And you can see we're making big inroads in here with this and doing it fairly quickly. I mean, it's only 20 past 11, so it's not too bad. This could be a job that would take us a lot longer, but I'm fairly happy in general with how it's going and how well this is working. We definitely have a thin layer left over. And the more I look at it, the more I think we could do with a spade or a shovel on here to sort things out. Whether that's a shovel on the tractor or whether that's a shovel, a hand shovel. Although I think a hand shovel with the kind of farm we've got here at the moment would be pretty cool. So yeah, I think we might look at that. I'm not looking to get bales on here. Everything I'm looking to do is to be done with loose straw, with loose hay, and with loose silage. So yeah, I don't think we're ever gonna need a bale spike or anything like that. But I think a bucket on the back of this tractor would be pretty useful. Maybe something a little bit different. I want to try and avoid having. Well, I want to try and avoid having a normal front loader on here. I want to try and use the 3-point on this tractor to load stuff up. So I have an idea for some stuff we can use. especially if we're looking to get something into a mixing wagon. There are some options. I've less than 5 loads to go, I think. We've got 9,500 litres in here. The actual clamp itself is fully compacted, but that's because there's not a huge amount in this silo. So I want to see if we can clear this out. And yeah, it's getting harder and harder. The reason why I say less than 5 to go when we have at least 5 loads is because I can't really get at some of this. Some of it is just too low in the silo. You can see that we've got a thin layer. And some of it is, of course, over the tires at the edges. And that's just making things impossible for me to get at it. It's a little bit tougher. So I think at this point, we're going to try the thing I was talking about earlier and see if we can actually sell at the silo before collecting the rest of this up. And in fact, what we'll be able to do if we sell the silo and we end up with the thin layer here is we'll be able to use this to pick up the rest of it. So let's give this a try. So into my construction, select the demolish. I got all content will be removed too. No. Oh, I can't leave 8,253 litres on the floor. Right, what we're going to have to do then, get as much as we can with this, with the restrictions we have, and then pick up the rest with our piece kit, our forage wagon, and then whatever's left, whatever little bit is left that we can't get at, we will have to it'll have to get removed with it because we can't really do much. Maybe we'll be able to clear out most of what's in there with this. That would be good. Right, let's not stick this into the tires. So, oh no, forwards. Yeah, this is where careful maneuvering is going to come into it. And yeah, looks like we're just going to be taking it off this layer here. I can only hope that what's sitting in the tires won't get removed when the bunker silo is removed as well. Maybe we'll get lucky and maybe we'll be fine. But I think we're going to lose at least a little bit of this without getting in here with a shovel or something like that. Certainly, we're doing all right as far as getting most of it out. But we're going to struggle to get all of it out with this. In fact, I think the rest I'm going to try and get out with our forage wagon. Okay, let's see how much of the rest of this we can clear out then. Turn her on, drop her down. And the thing I haven't mentioned up to this point is this is all treated as chaff. Having gone into the bunker, it's no longer grass. It's all gone in as chaff. So we'll be able to see exactly how much we've got out of this bunker because it'll be in the in our fermenting silo as chaff as well. Right, let's pull along the side here as close as we can to those tires. See if we can clear as much of this out as possible. Wow, we've already got 7,635 off. Do the same down this side here. This is sure to pick up some gravel and other gump that we wouldn't normally want in our fermenting silo. But needs must as the devil drives at the moment. There's no easy way for us to do this otherwise. If this reads 0 when we've got this out of here, because we've got 8,400 in this trailer, then I think we can probably safely remove this and then just pick up the rest once it's been removed. Getting stuck on the tire. through and... Oh, it's not picking up that little bit. Okay. That, I think, is a loss. Let's have a look. How much is in here? This is empty. Perfect. Right. Let's go into the sales screen. Let's go into the construction screen and demolish this. 2,085 is all we're going to get. Never mind. It's been sold. Perfect. We should be able to now just collect the rest of this up with relative ease. Although, I don't know what's happening with that bit there. That seems to have just become hardened. The rest of this, though, should easily get picked up. We just run along the side here. Of course it isn't all going to get easily picked up. Why would that happen? Right, there we go. We've got those little bits of rubbish at the edge there. That's just going to cause this to not work, isn't it? That's got that. And I think that is about as much as we're going to pick. I'm just going to drive this down the middle. See if that picks it. Nope, it's treating it as a hard section. And then I'm going to drive this as close to this lot here as we can as well. See if we can pick up some of this. Nope, that's not going to pick that up either. Overload it. And in it goes. So let's have a look at exactly how much we have in here. Wow, 75,000 litres of chaff. So we will activate that. We will deactivate the grass silage because we don't need to do any more of that. And yeah, I think we're looking at about 150,000 litres of silage off this. That is fantastic. That is absolutely wonderful. So now we just need a little trick to clear up this excess silage we got. I don't think there's much here. There's a small pile there. There's a little bit here and a little bit there. Easiest way to clear that up is to head into the construction menu, into the landscaping, like that. Although that's not the one I want. What I want to think is that. Right, excellent. We will enlarge this so that we completely get rid of that bit that we've had. And then over here, this is going to be a little bit more difficult because it is... I haven't got the paint and terraform everywhere on here, I don't think. So, yeah, we're going to need to rework this a little bit more. We've got a lot of dark patches here because of this, so this will sort itself out after a while. This, I think we need to get a shovel and sort out. I think a shovel in general, as I said, is a good idea. So we'll try and sort that out, I think. But now we have £2,300 in the bank. We have a chance to get ready for the next round of mowing. So I'm going to have a quick look in the shop. I'm going to see how much the mowers are. And we might go and sell a little bit of this silage just to see if we can do that. In fact, let's turn the tractor off and go and have a look. So the mower I want, which fits in with what we're doing here, is this one, the Machio Gasparado. That is 25 horsepower, 2.4 meters, which is slightly smaller than, it's about a meter smaller than our current one. And that has either an extension. Okay. So we'll go with the standard. We should be all right. And I'm going to put the hydraulic lifting on it so it's a little bit more modern. So we need 3,000 for that. And for the windrower we need another... we're going to go with the red, actually. We need another 1,300. So 5,000 would do it. We don't need a huge amount. So let's start this up, fold this out. We need 5,000 pounds, so that's roughly 10,000 liters. Let's put 10,000 liters into here so that we can go and sell that. 9 and 10. There we go. 10,273. So this shows the power of having this trailer as well. It's nice and easy for us to do everything we need to do grass-wise, because this handles it all. And we're down to our old favorite, the train yards, to sell this. Oh, now I have a feeling we can't sell this at the train yard, because I bet it only takes bales. Yeah, I don't think there's anywhere down at this train yard that takes silage. I'd be amazed if it did. In fact, I'm fairly sure that all of this must take an auger or something like that to sell at the train yard here. But it looks like loose silage is not something I can sell here. So where is the next best place to sell it? 462 here. Oh, we're not going to make anywhere near as much at the other two places. Biogas plant, that is going to be 306. Animal dealer is 315. Let's head over to the animal dealer. We'll tag that. And yeah, we're not going to get quite as much. But not much I can do about it because it seems we can't sell it here. If you know how to sell loose silage here, let me know in the comments. I'm really interested in seeing if we can do that, because the price is about £100 more per 1,000 liters, and that will make a big difference if we can do that. Here's hoping the animal dealer is actually going to take this. Otherwise, it is going to be the biogas plant that we have to sell it at. Bring this over here, and it will take it. Fantastic. Let's get that tipping, unload it, get the money in, and with any luck, we'll have enough to get these new pieces of equipment that we're after. 5,557. That's brilliant. That will do the trick. So we'll head over here and into here. Now I have got this forage wagon actually leased at the moment. It's going to cost us 3,384 to purchase it. So I do want to do that. First thing I'm going to do though is return this. Yes. Okay. And then we'll return the spike we had a minute ago as well, because we have no use for that. And then I want to pop in here to the mowers. We want to purchase this with the hydraulic lifting. Yes, buy that. Yep. Okay. And then we also want to grab the windrower too. So we're going to leave that with the red. We're going to buy that too. And that means we've now got a much more classic setup for our mowing on here. And yeah, it means it's going to take a little bit longer to do, but should be great. So what I'm going to do is going to return this to the farm. And then we will go and grab those two new pieces of kit ready for tomorrow. That mower is looking far more appropriate on this tractor. Really pleased with that purchase. And that means that we are all set up to go and get another cut of the grass next time, which is absolutely brilliant. We are looking at having probably somewhere between 100 and 150,000 pounds worth of grass or of silage. In fact, can I fit this in my shed on the back of here? Because I want to leave this on here because that's the setup we're going to be going with next time. And yep, it will fit in here like that with it lowered. Fantastic. So we'll leave our tractor like that. But yeah, so we're going to cut the silage next time. We'll be using this to do the cut, this to rinware it up. I'm actually going to make a small adjustment to this mod. This hitch here seems to be trying to do top hitch at the moment, and that doesn't work on this tractor because it hitches it, well, up where the top arm is. So I really want it to hitch down the bottom, so I'm going to make a small adjustment to this mod to make it hitch down the bottom for next time. But yeah, we have a total of 170 litres of silage at the moment. If we got the best price for it, which admittedly at the moment is at the train yard, we would get £87,000 come January. And that's just with what we already have. I'm hoping that these prices here are going to come up to match the train yard by the time of best price. Because obviously we cannot sell this silage at the train yard if it's not baled. So we've got a fairly simple job today on the farm. I want to get the grass fields cut one more time before we head into winter. If we can get them cut and rowed and collected, that will give us a whole load of silage to sell off next time. And December, I believe, is the best time to sell it. No, actually January is the best time to sell it. We won't have a huge amount to do on the farm during the winter, so we're probably going to skip through the months fairly quickly. But yeah, it looks like we're going to be selling silage either next month because it'll hit best price before January, or we'll be selling in January. Let's unfold our mower, which takes quite a long time with this piece of kit. Sometimes it's not very easy to tell if it's unfolding. Let's bring the menu up. So, no, it is unfolding at the moment. There we go. It's really, really long time to get this unfolding. So, I've added a new mod today, and I have adjusted one of our existing mods today. The mod that I've added is the Real Mower mod. I've also made an adjustment to it. So, the Real Mower mod, as is on the mod hub, that will cut outside of land you own. I've adjusted it so that it will only cut on my land, but I have left in the function that removes bushes. So the hope is that today we will have these fields cleared of bushes along with getting them mowed, which certainly seems to be the case at the moment. And yeah, look at that, cutting straight through them. That will then give us a definition for our fields on here going into the new year and allow us to get some stuff ploughed as well. A lot of what we've been doing over these first 4 or 5 episodes has been just to get us set up to keep going. And to there. Wow, that's a little bit further than I thought it was. And once we've done that and got ourselves positioned right, we'll be able to start getting bits and pieces of the farm. And I'm expecting the silage off these first cuts, these to actually set us up certainly for a good first year. We might be able to buy another piece of land with what we'll make off this silage. We certainly should be able to get our combine and all of our equipment to start getting crops in the ground. So I'm looking forward to seeing the results. Bye-bye bushes. And we'll be able to start properly building the farm up in the new year, getting our first crops in and getting some fields created. It's exciting times here on the Western Wilds. I've been around the field a couple of times now, and yeah, this is definitely a bit slower, this mower. We've got 1 meter less on its width compared to the one that we did have hired. So I'm trying to maximize its cut, and as you can see, that isn't always successful. Trying to get these wheels exactly where it should be is yeah, not always easy if you're not pulling it from this angle here. I do like, well, one of the things I do like about this mower though is if you do reverse up without raising it, it doesn't cut. And it shouldn't, because the blades are only on the front. But I love that this is, yeah, this is not a reversible mower by any stretch of the imagination. You have to reverse up and then go forwards again over the same grass for it to actually cut it, which is brilliant. I actually love this little mower. It only came out this week on the Mod Hub, and has just been a great addition for this series straight off the bat. So yeah, kudos to the creator of this. It's a cracking little mower mod and perfect to be paired with our nice old 1974 David Brown 1410 here. Works an absolute treat on this tractor. Having completed 3 full rounds around the field, I'm going to start cutting down the middle so that we can divide things. I'm going to start off by cutting around this tree. We divided the field based on here last time. Well, that's a nice feature of this mower. I've got an idea of where the edge of it is, because you can see that little bit of metal sticking up at the end, sort of that indicator. Tells me exactly where the edge of my mower is. So should allow me to sort of cut round things like this without actually hitting them. I do realize that I did hit it as I was doing the first bit of that. But if we come here, yeah, we should then be able to come down and cut around this tree without too much hassle. And I'm going to leave this tree and the other one that's on this field. I'm going to leave all of those actually in these 2 fields that I think this will eventually be, so that we can just have a couple of features on the field. Will be a little bit of a pain to work around, but then I kind of like that. I kind of like stuff that makes fields more interesting. And this is one of those maps where we've got a lot of just open area that you could make massive fields out of. But I need to, with the equipment, especially the equipment we're starting with on here, I am going to need to use smaller stuff. So we are going to need initially smaller fields. I'm still a little undecided which way to eventually split this field. Whether north-south or east-west would be a good way to do it. To be honest, though, putting a road from the main gate up to here and doing a north-south split seems like a fairly good idea at the moment. We could potentially get 3 fields out of this doing it that way. So split it around this tree here, and then split the second field around the other tree, and we might end up with a pretty good setup. In fact, I think if we were to do both, splitting on the trees, we'd end up with 3 fairly even-sized fields here that we could then go ahead and get a variety of crops in without too much hassle. That might actually be the better way to go. We're getting to the point now where the turn gets easier at the end, so we will finish off the cut here and lift. Now, can I see? I can just about see my line here, but to be honest, my best line is just to put the wheels there. Down with the mower. Seems to be pretty good. And I think I'm going to use this road to straighten things out, because as you can see along here, we've been a little bit out of place around here. So yeah, let's straighten things out, and then we'll have a nice straight run to go on along down here. It's cutting well. We are going to need to refuel this tractor before we do any windrowing, though. And I have a feeling we'll need to refuel the tractor after that as well. One thing I really need to get on the farm is a fuel pump. We need something to keep this tractor stocked up, because it does not have a large fuel tank and it is pretty thirsty. I had come out here to have a look and see if we were anywhere near a third of the way through this field. And it really doesn't feel like it. I mean, we look at both sides here. There are definitely larger areas both to the north and south of where we're cutting at the moment. And so as a result, we are actually quite a way off doing getting this field done, which is fairly amazing. We started at just after 8 a.m. and it's now 11. And yeah, I think we might be about a quarter of the way through this. We definitely haven't hit that halfway point yet, though. I think we've got about a third of the field cut now. I'm beginning to be able to line things up a little bit better as well. The side of the bonnet going along the side of the cut here seems to be a pretty good place to put the tractor in order not to miss anything. Gets a little bit fishy when you end up going through a bush like that, but of course we won't have that issue anymore now that we're cutting all the bushes away. And yeah, it's 11:45. I'm very much hoping that my windrowing isn't going to take very long to get done, especially as the windrow actually is a fairly wide one, which is good news for us to be able to get things done fairly quickly. So we'll lift this here, and I'm going to start cutting the top end of the field here. We'll get this top section done, and then we'll go back and do the bottom section after that. And with any luck, we'll be done in plenty of time to get this, to get all of this grass not only rowed up but collected today, because we want to get it fermented, ready for selling. Moving to the smaller mower has definitely made all of this more challenging. Even more so, we have nearly run out of fuel again. So I'm gonna have to get to the end of this row and head up to the shop, refuel the tractor. I need to get something a bit closer because we need to refuel this tractor on a regular basis, and having to go up to the shop and back itself is a waste of fuel. So let's lift that up and fold it. That should, yeah, all bring that out. And we're just going to nip across here to the road and go and get some fuel in this tractor. So back up to the shop, and just down the side of it we have got the fuel tank. So bring this round here, turn this off and purchase some fuel. Shouldn't cost us too much, only takes 81 litres, so 95 pounds. And then we can take it back to the field and continue cutting. Before I do that, though, I quickly want to pop into the shop, see exactly what would be available in the form of a fuel bowser. And looking at the miscellaneous, I've got that, but that's 29,000. Do we have... Yeah, we've got this little fuel tank. We've got this little fuel tank we could put inside something like that. More money than we can afford at the moment. But... yeah, there are ways we have that we could do it. We could even put it in that transport box as well, which is only 400 compared to, yeah, that one, which is 1,400. I can figure out, okay, this could have a fairly large capacity to it as well. So, yeah, I think we might go with something like that, maybe in something like this, which would be quite useful. So lots of options, but first we're going to have to get some money in, and that means we need to finish cutting the grass, get it rowed and into our fermenting silo. Got another interesting bit of maneuvering to get around this tree. I'm just trying to keep an eye on where we are. Yeah, we're at a point where we do need to pull out a little bit to get around this tree. It is pulling it a tad, but I think we're all right. The maneuvering is going to be actually much more pronounced the next run I do through here, because we're going to have to go round the tree or go up to it and then back and then round and sort of maneuver a bit better. All in all, it's not too bad. I am worried at the moment that it's 1:10 in the afternoon. It's November, so our daylight is restricted. And we haven't finished cutting this field yet, let alone the strip that we've got down the side of our yard of our ranch. So, yeah, are we going to get this road today? I'm very much hoping so, but it may be that we go a little bit into the darkness to get it all rode up. So here we go, maneuvering around this tree. I'm going to have to come in under the canopy. We want to bring it up as close as we can. There we go. Back off. And then just going to cut in and around here like so. And we're going to have to go the other way around the tree in order to properly get this. So that will go around there quite nicely. And then we'll head back and do the same, but this time a bit closer to the tree. And if we come in a little bit straighter, you see that we can get everything around that tree. And that is nice and neatly done. So now we just continue on and get the rest of this cut. My hopes of getting all of this cut and rode up, let alone collected today, are dwindling. We are at 2:20 in the afternoon and we've only just finished the top end of this field. There's still about a third of the field to go, plus the strip at the side down there. This is very much going to be a day of mowing, which is a little bit disappointing. I was hoping to get this all done today. Definitely means that we're going to be selling on in January, even if the price hits peak next month, because I don't want to be selling stuff as soon as I put it into the silo. It's not overly realistic. The silo works fairly quickly, but I think giving it a month at least to ferment is reasonable. So yeah, if we load the silo up next time, we won't be selling next time because it just wouldn't be realistic to do it. So I'm going to avoid doing that. We're going to see if we can get the rest of this cut, but daylight is slipping away from us very fast at this point. And I don't know if we're actually going to even get all of this cut today. This has definitely got harder using this mower. It's amazing the huge difference this little mower has made to slowing everything down. When we first cut this field, when we first started on here, we had both of these fields cut and rode in a day because, of course, the windrower, the swather function was built into the mower. Here, this has now become a 2-day job. We got to expend more time and more effort and more fuel on it because we're having to do these two things separately. And I kind of like that. I kind of like making this a little bit more difficult. Definitely shows the need for having smaller fields and also fields that aren't requiring constant work throughout the year, which is what a grass silage setup on here would do. So my hope is that we'll be able to make maybe 1 grass field and 3 arable fields off here, so that we do have a grass field that's providing us with silage that we can sell and that we'll eventually be able to feed to the cows we get on here, but also having 3 fields of arable crops that are going to bring us in a decent wad of cash every year as well. It'll bring us in less because silage is just so overpowered, but it will also mean that we're not spending a huge amount of time mowing like we are now. 4, I've got all of the lights on, and we're maybe 1 or 2 rows from finishing off this field. Yeah, this has taken so much longer with this mower. I mean, it's not overly surprising. This mower is basically a meter shorter than the previous one that we had, and that puts it at 2.4 meters instead of 3.4 meters. That's quite a big drop. That's nearly a third of the width of this mower has just, just isn't there anymore. Hence the reason why it's taking such a long time. Yeah, it's basically half again of this mower that we had with the previous one. So that's why we were able to cut so much quicker last time. And yeah, it's taken so much longer this time. We have just about wrapped this field up. We should have just enough time, I think, to get that section down the side done. It's not a massive area, and we should be in a little bit of sunlight, because unlike this bit, we've not got a whole load of trees in the way down there. So I'm just going to clear up the last few bits of this, and then we will head over there. We'll see if we can't get that all cut today. But yeah, looks like the windrowing is going to have to wait till next time. And hopefully we're still on track then to sell all our silage in January and get started as the new year rolls around. So now we'll mark this area right here. We'll get a cut along here at, I want to be at 180, but it's slipped to 179. There we go. Try and keep this as straight as possible along this edge. And then, yeah, I think we've only got a few cuts down here. We might be going a little bit into the dark, but we've got a nice clear way here with the sunshine, and it'll be lighter on this field longer than it would have been on the other one. I think I've actually been quite conservative in where I've cut this first strip. I have a feeling we could have gone quite a bit further over. We know there's a tree stump along here somewhere that is within our land and that we can cut, and we can cut the other side of. And I'm just seeing the grass that got left last time from where we were able to cut at the edge but weren't able to collect. And yeah, there's a good couple of rows at least. Let's just have a look over here. Where's that? The stump is here. Wow, yeah, we could come quite a way over. So I might have to go and do that and see if we can't actually get the most out of this field. But it is 20 to 5. The light is definitely fading, and anything I can get cut on here now is going to be a bonus. Time is coming up to 5:30. It's yeah, 26 minutes past. We have maybe 2 runs left to do on this section, which is good. I think I might be able to widen things a bit. I want to be careful because I don't want to go too much into the night. And to be perfectly honest, we probably have enough grass here to make all the silage we're going to need to get the farm fully funded for the year ahead. I'm not too concerned about that. I just don't like leaving crop on the ground, and it feels very much like I've got 4 or 5 rows of grass that I could potentially add to our total here. Absolute understatement that I have not got as much done today as I was expecting or hoping to get done. Not planning on spending the full day just mowing, but that's the way it goes sometimes. And sometimes, yeah, you just have to keep cutting the grass until it's gone. We are going to have 1 more row to do here before I potentially go and have a look at that other bit. But yeah, it's 35 minutes past 5. The sun is dipped below the trees. We've got all the work lights on, but it is getting harder to see stuff. Oh, this is still going to produce us a really good amount of silage, though. I think this is doable in about 3 cuts. So we're going to go along here, get 3 cuts off both this field and the other field. We've got a fair amount of space to work with, and hopefully that will expand things a little bit, give us a little bit of extra grass, and allow this job to be complete properly today. The time has just ticked over 6 o'clock and it's getting very hard to see anything. I am actually a little bit wary because I'm missing bits, or have missed bits, simply because they fall in the shade or fall outside the light of my tractor. The actual stump is a little bit further over. Yeah, right there. You can see at the bottom. So I'm happy with this being pretty much as far as I go. We'll get this up to the end here without going in the water. Lift it up, turn it off. Get it folded. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. That has been a long day's mowing and nowhere near what I actually expected to get done today. Really thought we might get everything rode up as well, but that just hasn't happened. So that is going to be a job for next time, along with collecting all of this grass up and getting it fermented into silage. So one of the things I'm really looking forward to once we get a bit of money in is not having to make this trek to the shop every time. Lots of people have suggested that I grab a gas can and get my truck up here and fill a load of those up, and it would take 4 gas cans to fill this tractor. And to be honest, it's a bit of an expense that at the moment we don't need, especially when we're going to, in the very near future, be able to put our own fuel pump in at the farm and deal with it that way. So I'm looking to go that way with it rather than a mobile gas can or a mobile gas tank or anything like that. So yeah, that's why I've been holding off doing it. I had a look. They hold like 20 liters each. We don't currently have any kind of front loader to do a larger can or anything like that. So yeah, it's just going to be a case of, for today, probably doing this 1 or 2 more times. Let's refill this. We do still thankfully have the money to actually keep putting fuel into this, which is great news. But yeah, we really need to crack on with this field today. We've got snow on the way as well, and I want to get this rode up and collected before that arrives too. We're looking at the snowfall coming down about midday and hanging around all afternoon. So yeah, the sooner that we can get everything rode up and start collecting it, the better, because as this day goes on, not only is it going to be colder to sit on this tractor as it progresses, but it's going to get harder and harder to get that grass collected up. Thankfully, I think the first part of today's job should go far quicker and smoother than the mowing did yesterday. Such a long time it took us to mow all of our fields. This is much wider, this piece of kit, this Rostal Mash GVS6U. I've altered it so that it hooks to the bottom and not up to the top hitch, because that was a real problem when I first got this. Finding so many pieces of equipment have that odd setup of attaching to the top hitch when they should attach to the bottom, especially as it makes them more compatible with the older tractors like this. And a piece of kit like this, I would expect to be an older piece of kit. So I'm very, very surprised that it had that issue where where it connects to the top hitch and just gets pulled off the ground. Right, this should just be a case of pulling this down. Whoa. And keeping ourselves straight along here. And yeah, rowing this all up. That is such a good start. This is much faster and much wider. This is a 6.5 meter windrower and basically it is doing 3 rows of the mower at a time, so it's 3 times as fast from that point of view. And then added on top of that, it is also going at 11 miles an hour rather than the 8 miles an hour the mower was going at. So we are moving just much faster overall. Very happy with the speed of this. So we might get this actually done by midday and start getting things collected up as the snow is falling. I very much was hoping to avoid anything like that, but we'll see how we do. And with any luck, our piles will stick out in the snow and we'll be able to get this collected up fairly easily. I'm doing 2 headlands on this because A, that takes me up to the tree here rather nicely and means we don't have to faff around that too much. And B, because while I'm windrowing the main body of the field, this outer row is actually fairly likely to get messed up by where I have to lift and drop the windrower. So we're going to not worry too much about that with this second headland. The same is true actually while I'm doing this headland. I'm fully expecting to mess up the inside bits there, and you can see fairly big mound that I ended up with there. But all in all, it should be able to be handled by our forage wagon fairly well. The forage wagon is the only thing we still have leased, and my plan going forward is not to be leasing anything. Very much that was a get myself started, get myself off the ground. As soon as we can afford it, we are going to buy that outright. Should be about 3 grand. So once we've got the silage bought, we should be able to buy our forage wagon, which is great news. And we can keep going from there. I have my eye on several things that I want to buy with the first sell of silage. So I will be keeping my eye out for those. Some of them I kind of want to hold off on and hold the money back. But I'm very worried that I'll just end up spending it if I do that. So we might end up buying something that later turns up for sale. And if it does, then we might swap things out, especially if it's a better bargain and we can get a little bit of our money back. 9:10 and our headlands are done. So we're going to start up this end of the field, get the windrower down, and yeah, I'm going to have to maneuver carefully around the tree, I think. This is going fast though. This is doing really, really well. And we should get this road up. Don't know if we'll get it rolled up by midday, but certainly not long after the snow falls, we should have this finished. And then with any luck, we can get the grass picked up and into our silo. Careful maneuvering around this tree. And then onwards. Yeah, it's going to be fun on the way back because it's got a little bit of kink towards the tree on this side. So can I maneuver this in and grab that bit out from beside the tree? Let's see. Oh, we've missed it. I think we've got it though. Yeah, we missed the tree and got the grass. Perfect. A few videos ago, I talked about the patches of grass that just sort of didn't seem to produce anything. And you can see them more clearly now all the bushes are gone. Some of them are where bushes were, and therefore there just was no grass under them. But other patches are just patches where there was bad grass, and we didn't really get much out. Now that we're windrowing this up and everything got spread out a little bit, it's a lot harder to see that those produce less grass. But certainly when we did the first cut of this field, it was very obvious where those rows were that produced less for us to actually get into our silage. The strange thing about this map is that actually none of this grass that we've been cutting is actually classed as meadow grass or crop grass at all. If you look at the map and we select grass on here, you can see that there's only a few little patches of actual grass scattered around the map. And where we've cut is not listed as harvested, is not listed as ready to harvest or anything like that, other than those little patches. So it's quite an oddity. This is why even the fields that we're going to continue to have as grass, we want to plow them up and get them redone, because we will probably double the yield on those fields, and as a result we will be able to have just one grass field half the size of what we have now, producing the same amount of silage and still be producing a load of crops on our farm as well. So it's expansion just by managing the land better. Well, we're up to the tree, so now we need to be a little bit more careful with our maneuvers. Lift that up there, take a wide turn, and then try and position this coming up on the side there. That should be okay, especially once it's down. Yeah. And then as I come out from the tree, I can just pull this in, and there we go. So it'll be a little bit of a kink at the end of the other row, but otherwise, yeah, I think that's worked out pretty well. If the mower yesterday surprised me at how slow it was, this is doing the exact opposite. It is surprising me at how fast it is. We are a good 2/3 to 3/4 of the way through this field, and it's 10 past 10. We could easily have finished windrowing everything by 11 o'clock, which would put me nicely ahead of schedule. Exactly where I want to be. We are a day behind where I was expecting me to be because of the length of time the mower took to do its work. And so, yeah, catching up would be great. The only other thing we really need to go our way is for the price of the silage to not hit its peak until January. We will give that a check after we finish this field. Even if it hits its peak today, though, we can't sell, because I'm not going to put all of this grass into the silo and immediately count it as having actually fermented. That would be a little bit unrealistic, even with the speed that our fermenting silo goes at. I think at least a month to allow everything in there to ferment is fair, to the point where I might actually go and see if I can adjust the mod to slow it down a bit, because yeah, it does run a bit fast, that one. Yeah, the speed on here, it's 48,000 liters per month of everything, and yeah, that's a little bit much, I think. We probably put actually that much in a month, so maybe it isn't. It just seems to go through it very, very quickly as soon as I put anything into it. Yeah, I'll have a look. I'll maybe have a fiddle with it a bit and see how it goes. I might reduce the capacity as well, because the capacity on it at the moment is pretty huge. Another nice thing about this piece of kit actually is that it's very fuel efficient for us. We have used hardly any fuel from this tractor on this field. And it's because all we're doing is towing this as it glides over and rows up the grass. There's no PTO on it. It's got a little bit of hydraulics, but most of it is just friction led as those teeth collect up all of the grass, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm very, very pleased with that. It means that the fill up that we did today is going to go a long way. It'll get a bit worse when we go to start using the forage wagon. The forage wagon will use more, but because we're going to have less rows, it should use up less fuel than it did last time, which is great news. Very, very pleased with that. We might actually not need to go and refuel this tractor again before we get... Well, no, we might have to refuel it when we're carting some of this. But we shouldn't have to refuel it again today, certainly. This field is going to take no time at all with this piece of kit. Wow. That is... Yeah, that's like 4 or 5 passes. we're going to be ready to get the forage wagon out by 11 o'clock. I wonder if I can use this to pull the stuff that we weren't able to pick up last time away from the edge. Let's see. If we turn here, we'll lift this. That should be fine. Lift it up. There we go. Bring this round and get the majority of this on our land. So we are easily within our own space here. Let's see if this will pull this off the edge or whether it will give me a warning. Oh, it's grabbing it. Fantastic. We'll be able to get the little bit we had left last time in as well. That is great news. And there we go. Not quite 11 o'clock, but we are finished on all of our fields here. Just need to bring this up to the end of this row. And there we go. So I would say this windrow has been a massive success. It has worked really well for us and has got us through that job really, really quickly. If we have smaller fields to work with, I think that this and the mower will get through those in a day fairly easily, and we might even get stuff collected up. It'll be really interesting to see if we can increase the yield by as much as I thought we might be able to earlier. That would work out really well for us if we can. So I'm going to park up my windrower over here. Right next to this are all of these old sheds and everything. Getting rid of those is going to be very satisfying because that will be the point at which I know I have money to spare to get rid of stuff I don't need rather than buying stuff I need, which will be very, very cool. Speaking of things I need, we need to get a pressure washer for this tractor. Look at the state of it. It is absolutely awful. The other thing I need to go and do actually is go and grab a shovel. We need to clear up this little bit of chaff that we have kicking around the base of here. Right, let's hook this up. We mustn't forget to unfold it so it doesn't look absolutely ridiculous. And time to go and collect the grass up. It is 25 past 11. We have the snow coming in maybe about half an hour or so. So the question on my mind is, how long is this going to take to fill this with these much wider windrows than we had last time? I think this is going to fill up pretty quickly. We are 5% by this point, and I'm trying to keep on this really wiggly row I started off. Okay, not too bad. Looking like we might get the whole way around the field before we have to go and empty. That would not be too bad at all. Yeah, we're not quite going to make it around the field before we have to empty by the look of things. Time to wrap up warm. Here comes the snow. Wow, this filled up really quickly on this back row. And I suppose my initial thought was based on the short side. We are at 90% already, so yeah, it's not going to be, it's going to be one long side and one short side to fill this. I think, oh no, maybe a little way into this. Yeah, there we go. So that is not bad at all. That's going to be quite a bit of grass off here. Just think if we actually had it properly prepared, how much grass we'd be getting off here. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm not going to turn this on immediately. We will turn it on at the end of the day and let it process overnight. That way it will process it all and it'll be nice and fair and work. So yeah, I think that's a much better way of doing it. It means that we won't be able to sell any of the silage or any silage from the grass we're putting in today at all. And yeah, that just works so much better and is so much more realistic for me. So that's the way I'm going to go. And that is not going to cause any issues with having stuff ready before it should be. Unfortunately, this is really not looking like a minor snowstorm. It's settled in quite deeply. We're on our 4th trailer of grass now, and yeah, it's not settling yet, and that's going to be my big problem. When it starts to settle, it's going to start getting in the way of our grass. So the sooner we can get all of this up, the better. We've used about as much fuel doing the first 3 loads of this as we did the entire time we were in windrowing. That is that is hilarious. Yeah, you start putting a bit of strain on this tractor, and it definitely starts to drink the fuel, unfortunately. What we might end up doing eventually, and so something I want to do on here actually, is get a second tractor. But when I get a second tractor, I think we might see if we can put the front loader on this and use this a bit more as a yard tractor. As far as a tractor that is doing field work goes, it's great, and I'm loving having a David Brown. But that fuel usage is just a killer. It is so high. And oh wow, that has worked out perfectly. We now just have rows. I mean, this row here is the headland, but we have no side rows left, so now it's just fairly easy. And this is another 13,000 litres in. That takes us up to what, 52,000 litres of grass off this field so far. That's really good. This is actually working out quite well. It's about 49-50% per strip per one of these rows. Although that one's come out at only 79, but the first row definitely hit 49. So yeah, only about 30% on that row. This one looks a little bit fuller, so they are varying a bit. I think it depends on how many of these grass or these dead patches they have in them. But yeah, that's working out fairly well. I think that's about half a row there. So yeah, 13,000 litres on a pretty regular basis. This is going to be very profitable. I think we're going to end up with about 300,000 litres of silage, which 13,000 litres a go is going to take us quite a while to sell. We might have to look at an alternative for that, I think. So the thing that I feared would happen has happened. Best price has been reached for the silage. It is currently sitting at 512 and talking about dropping, which is not great. So yeah, it's currently actually slightly above. It's at the train yard as well, and we don't have the money to sort that at the moment. I do wonder how the other places look for silage at the moment. 512 is best at the train yard. It's such a big markup at the train yard. Someone was saying to me, oh, because of the difficulty of loading items in there, that's why it's pays so much better. But it makes it very difficult to see the prices in the other places, to see if they ever have a best price to sell the loose stuff at. I have done some experiments and tried to get the looser stuff sold at the train yards with no success at the moment. It really does not want to go up a conveyor belt or anything like that into it. I think I need to do a little bit more testing before we get into selling it next time. But I think we might end up selling it at £200 less per 1,000 litres. If not, which is quite a knockdown from what we could be making on it. This trailer will be our 8th load of grass off the field, and the importance of that is that puts us over 100,000 litres of grass off here today. We are at 104,000 liters. We are also about halfway through this field. So I'm expecting us to have over 200,000 liters of this today, which divided by 3, if we can't get the best price, would be about 80. Yeah, divide by 3, probably be about 70,000 in total that we'd get off just what we have today, which is probably about 140,000 overall if we're lucky. So we might make enough money to get the farm properly up and running. As I said, there are pieces of equipment I want to buy. I would like to replace the house because, heck, we shouldn't be living in a tent. We need somewhere to live on here. And if we could get our first animals sorted as well, that'd be great too. I'm not holding out too much hope for that. That is trying to make that much money go quite a long way. Even getting a cheap cow pen with a few cows, I think, is going to be a little bit out of range for that. But we'll see how much we have, and we'll see what we have to work with, and we can go from there. Yeah, I think I'm trying to make the money go a lot further than it maybe will. On any other save, though, I would have been all over this in the sales. It's got 37 hours on it, so it's fairly high hours. But £47,090, that's a real bargain for that Massey. This is our 10th load today. Get it backed up to our unload point. And yeah, so this will be 130,000 liters. I've been thinking about this. So I was looking at it, and 48,000 cycles a month. I thought that was going to be 48,000 liters a month. It's not. It's multiplied by 100. So it's 4,800,000 liters this can do a month. I think that this mod's got a mistake in it. I don't think that the creator meant for it to be that high, because I doubt this even holds 4 million liters. So yeah, I think I might go in and make an adjustment to that. I think it's meant to be 48,000 liters per month that it does, and that would make more sense to me. It would then take 3 months for everything that we're collecting today to go through and ferment, which sounds a lot more realistic to me. It looks to me like the cloud is beginning to break in the distance. The sun is definitely beginning to shine through quite brightly. This snow may be about to disappear, which would be great. Hasn't settled so far, which is good news. And if it continues to not settle, that would be even better. It's going to take us most of the afternoon, I think, to get this done. I do want to pop up to the shop in the truck and grab a shovel and just clear this up, and maybe we can get that to go through today as well. Just the tiniest bit of chaff, but it's causing a mess, and I want to clear it up. Last little bit off the first field, and that's another 11,000. So we are currently on 154,000 liters. I think there's a little section, yeah, there's a little bit at the edge of the field here I just want to clear up. So yeah, we're up to 154,000 liters. We'll move on to the next field and get that cleared up as well. We're making good moves on here still. I don't know how I ever thought I would get all of this cut, road, and collected in a day. It has taken a good chunk of the day just to get it collected, and yeah, it took us nearly half a day to row all this up as well. I think if we had 2 tractors running here in tandem, maybe one running follow me behind the other. That might allow us to do it. But certainly, as it stands at the moment, this is yeah, this is time consuming with the equipment we got, which is kind of the idea. You know, the reason why I decided, right, we're gonna go with older stuff, we're going to make this a little bit harder for ourselves, is exactly that, to make it take a little bit more time, to make us consider things a little bit more before we do them. So yeah, I'm liking this. I'm liking this challenge, and the interesting thing for us, I think, is going to be when we come to do the ploughing in the next couple of videos. We are going to have to get a plough that isn't that massive. We're only talking about a 2.5 meter plough at most, I would have thought. And yeah, that's going to take time to create these fields. It's going to take some very careful planning to get things done. This is the last of it. We just need to collect up this row of grass and then we'll be done. I think we're heading for about 185 to 190,000 litres, if I remember correctly. That is a really good amount. That is absolutely exceptional. Not quite the 200,000 litres I thought we might get earlier, but I'm still happy with that. That is going to work out pretty well for us. It is 4:15, so timing is good. The thing about this time of year, of course, is it gets dark earlier. So by 4:30, we're looking at darkness anyway. So we've managed to clear this all out, get this all collected, and get it into our silo, our fermenting silo, really nicely, and should mean that tomorrow we have a massive amount of silage to sell, even if it's not at best price. I'm gonna have to have a play around, see if I can get it to unload at the station. Obviously that's preferable if we can do that. So we'll see what we can get to work. It might be that we make about £500 per 1,000 litres. It might be that we only end up making about 350. Right, let's unload this. We're then going to get this out the way. There we go. We'll park this down the side here. I'm going to fold it down as well, as it's all finished with. And there we go. So unhook that. We'll put the tractor away as well. And then I'm going to run up to the shop quickly because I want to go and grab something to clean up this mess. And hopefully from there, we'll be able to make... well, we'll be able to get on with other stuff. I was just wondering if that back door opened. Right, turn that off. Let's go jump in the truck and head up to the shop. Considering all the back and forthing we did in this truck a few days ago, selling all that wood, I'm amazed at how little fuel we've used, especially in comparison to the tractor. That is just a little bit mad. So under miscellaneous here, I think we should have a shovel. Yeah, there it is. 26 power main color. I think we'll have a black bit there. Design color. We'll go with a wooden handle and then a blue one at top. Fantastic. 26 pound total. Yes, please. Okay. And there it is, just laying on the ground. We'll put that in the back. I'm hoping I can strap that down. Yeah, there we go. That should be strapped in. And wow, the light really is fading fast at this point. Time to get back to the farm, deal with this, and get that fermenting process starting. We're back to the farm then, and I'm going to go over to here, grab my spade, and get this cleaned out. Wow, that is just That is a really good progress today. I think we've pulled things back a bit. We are going to have issues selling things at not quite the amount that we originally thought. Oh, is this not going to pick this up? It won't pick it up. That is a fail. Wow. Okay. I'm going to have to find another way to do that because that will not work. That is unfortunate. I'll have to have a look into that a bit more later, I think. Let's turn the engine off on that, though. And that is a perfect place for us to finish for today. So the problem with the railway station is that we cannot put any of this silage into there. It would be really, really useful to be able to do that, but this is just not a high enough trailer to do that. Now, we can take 13,000 litres into this, so we're looking for a trailer that is not only a high tipper, but will also be able to tip at some, we'll be able to tip a similar amount to this. Let's just stop here. And I want to have a look at the best price. Yes, so we're at 509. The price is going back up, which is good news. We're expecting max price today, but we know we can't sell it at the train yard at the moment. So where is our best price for silage other than the train yard? See, the difference in price is ridiculous. It's such a massive drop. We're going to go and sell this at the animal dealer, though, because that will be the best price for this first load. Let's tag that, and oh, perfect. Looks like that is up near the shop. We should actually be able to kill 3 birds with 1 stone here. We can drop this here, we can refuel the tractor, and we can get the new trailer. I'm hoping the new trailer is not going to be much more than about 6 grand, but we will check on the price of that in a moment. Let's tip this here. We're going to get about 1/3, so we're going to get about 4.5 grand for this, roughly, I think. That's the 4.5, and that's 5,300. Yeah, there we go, £4,582. Now, with any luck, our trailer will not be any more expensive than that. Let's see what we've got in here that is an option. Now, I did download a couple of trailers that should do the trick. I can only find one in here at the moment. This one, the Tonar PT9. It's going to take 3 loads of our silage, though, to buy that. Now, is there something in the MISC category, maybe? Oh, actually, I know where's the best place to look for this. We want to look for this by brand. This is a FarmTech trailer, I think, that I'm looking for. Yeah, it's this one here. I don't know where this has ended up because it's supposed to be a trailer. This one's pretty good. This is only 9,000. It has a 12,000 capacity. It's got a rather weird back on it, and I think we'll get that if we can. We'll only need 1 more load of silage to get this, and yeah, that holds nearly as much. Might look a little bit strange on my tractor, I think. It holds the same amount, so I don't think it's weird in as far as how much it holds. It just may look a little bit weird. We'll see how it goes. Let's turn this off and refuel this first, though. And then we'll be able to go back to the farm, grab another trailer full of silage, come back up here. And yeah, I think I'm going to get that second trailer. I think that will be a much better choice for us. Back from the farm with the second load. So let's get this into the sell point as well. Bring it up and tip it out. So this should give us the 9 grand we need to get that trailer. More than enough to get us started. And then we've got a huge amount still to sell. We've only taken 26,000 litres from what we have. And we've still got 324,000 liters in here. So it's gonna give us nearly 200,000. It's gonna take a while though to get it all through. Let's park this here then, because we're gonna drop this trailer off. I certainly think this is going to be enough for us to get or jumpstart the farm really nicely. Nothing in the sales that we're after. So let's just see if this is under. I have no idea where this trailer appears under, other than, unless it's counted as an auger wagon. Yeah, there it is. It's counted as an auger wagon, which is really interesting. Yeah, this should be perfect for us. Fairly happy to keep the design color in the red. Just give it a little bit of an accent. 12,000 liter capacity. We can take it up to 15,000 liters. We don't have the money to do that. Michelin tires. And then there's two designs we can have. We can either have this funnel here or the funnel like that. I am going to go just with this one here. I think that suits our purposes nicely. So 12,000 liters. Let's buy that. Yes. Okay. And there it is. And actually, I was worried that this was going to be a lot bigger than my forage wagon is, which holds 1,000 liters more. And actually, I don't think it is. It's got some fairly big wheels on it. It's not making the tractor wheelie by the looks of things, and should do what we're looking to do. I'm just going to put this side by side here. Yes, it's a chunkier trailer and it's a little bit heavier, but yeah, that's actually not really much bigger than my existing forage wagon. So perfect. Doesn't have another hook on the back. No, it doesn't. Right. So we'll get this down to the farm and we'll start getting this loaded up with silage and getting that silage sold down at the railway. I've just done a little bit of maths calculation in my head, and for 320 odd thousand liters of silage that we're looking to sell, we're looking at somewhere around 28 to 30 trips. Oh, something I haven't done. I've connected up the wires, or that bits. Haven't connected up the PTO, because this trailer, as you'll see, does require a PTO. We'll get this backed into place. I think part of the reason why this tractor looks so small against this trailer is just the fact that it doesn't have a cab on it. So there's sort of half the height of a tractor you'd normally have. Right, let's refill this. Fill it up with silage and see if the handling on this is as nice as it was on the way here. Because it wasn't too bad empty. Let's see how it is fully loaded. Fully loaded, this is definitely a bouncier ride, and there's a lot less weight on the front of this tractor than before. It's not bad though. We're not losing control. We're still able to turn without too much effort, and yeah, everything's running okay otherwise. So I'm pretty happy with this. This is a pretty good setup for us. Yes, I still think this trailer is a little bit big. I am intrigued as to what you guys think as far as that's concerned. I don't think it's so big that it's a problem, but it does look a little bit odd. I mean, just look at that, and it's, yeah, dual wheel trailers like that. The thing is, I would normally expect a trailer of this size to hold more than 12,000 liters. We've got 20,000 liter trailers that are this sort of size. Right, we want to extend this, so we'll unfold it. In fact, let's just fold that down. I want to back it right up, I think, before it puts the feet down. Make it a little bit more realistic. It does actually overlap there. So we'll raise this up. And this is why I got this trailer. Because it lifts up and you can see it then gets into the trigger. And immediately we can then tip it up. And, oh, it doesn't actually use that grain door at the back. Is it, in fact, getting out of... I think it might be getting out of the trigger. There we go. Yeah, look, it gets itself out of the trigger as well. It's a pity I can't control the height of this. Oh, I know what to do. Let's switch the door. We'll switch to the door. And hopefully that keeps everything in the trigger like that. Oh, yeah, that is the way to empty this trailer into here and make the money much better. Trailer is empty. We can fold it back down. And yeah, that is the way to do it. I love that. I need to wait for these to actually come up before I start moving forwards. Right, just 27 more loads to go. But if they all go that smooth, I will be happy. Load 2 coming across the bridge, and I'm a little bit concerned. We headed back here from the last tip at about 10 o'clock. It's 10:34 for the second one. That would mean that it's going to take us 14 hours minimum to get all of this done. I don't think that's possible. Well, we don't have 14 hours available to us. So let's unfold this. So there. There we go. That's got it. And get this tipped. Yeah, I'm very concerned about how long this is going to take. We do have February as well if we want to. But we are definitely in a position where this is taking a while. We've got a lot of this to sell. We may only get about half of this sold today, I think. Simply because we're just taking so long to get it turned around. One possibility is to get something that I've been considering getting. And I think if we don't get everything done, then I might look into this. I don't think I have any of them here at the moment. But yeah, I think I might look at getting a mini BGA for our farm. Because that would work so much better for us. For the amount that we have to sell and give us fertilizer for our farm and everything as well. So I think today is very much going to be how much can we get in here? How much can we sell? And then go from there. If we can get a mini BGA for about 50,000, that would give us a way to quickly sell stuff on our farm. It might not pay as well, though, as the railway does. Just coming up to midday, and we have our fourth load here coming up to the trailer. This should take us up to about 26,000, I think. We are still really hurried for time. It's not going to be possible to get everything done today, I don't think. Let's get this unfolded and up, and yeah, it's gone midday. So we'll get this tipped and get back down to the farm. 25,000 is not a bad place to be in, but it looks like we'll get as much done today as we can and then go from there. I may have to experiment with the BGA a little bit, get our own mini BGA and see how that goes. That would be really good in terms of speed. We might even be able to sell this trailer if that was the case and just use the trailer we've got down at the farm. But only if it's going to give us a similar sort of price to what we're getting up here. Because, yeah, we're getting 6,000 a trailer here. which we were before getting around about 3 to 4. Well, we were getting 4.5 per trailer with the other ones. So yeah, we kind of want to keep that extra $1.5 grand if we can, because with the amount we're selling, that's going to make a big difference. This is my 7th load now, and it's taking about 40 minutes a load, full round, which is not great. It means we're getting just under 2 an hour, and I'd quite like to get a larger amount than we're getting right now. Let's lift that up. Yep, there we go. So yeah, we're looking at having at this quarter waypoint, because that's what this is. We're looking at having about 43,000 in the bank, 42,000 in total from doing these runs. So that means we're going to have about 68,000 all told if we can get all this sold. But it's already 2 p.m. Going with another 3 odd hours at this today. We're only looking at another probably 5 or 6 more loads. Probably closer to 5 loads more that we can do today. So that's about another 30,000, taking us up to 73,000. Not bad. Good amount for us to be getting started with for our ploughing, but we are going to have a huge amount of silage left in our silo. So I want to know from you guys at this point, what do you think we should do? Do you think having a BGA where we can quickly sell stuff on our farm and keep the money flowing is a good idea? Do you think we should be doing bales instead? Because one of these trailers basically holds 2 silage bales, and even with this tractor with a flatbed, we could get many more than that on a trailer. I reckon we could get up to 9 silage bales on a trailer. So yeah, that would be a much better way to go with this as well. Might take a little bit longer to load up each time, but definitely would be a lot less back and forth. Yeah, let us know in the comments, where do you think we should go? How do you think we can speed this process up? Because right now this is going to take somewhere in the region of 2.5 days to get all of this silage sold. Load number 10, and we're just coming up to 4 o'clock. It looks like we're going to get 2 more loads in today. Definitely wants to get 2 more loads in today. I was actually thinking we delivered 2 loads up to the shop as well. So strictly speaking, this is our 12th load that we've delivered today. But it is our 10th load that we've done with this trailer. We are going to be surpassing 60,000 with this, so that's pretty good. And in actual fact, the amount of money we're going to walk away with today, which is going to be somewhere in the region of about 75,000, I think that is more than enough to get the farm moving and to get the equipment we need. We just need to find a way to sell the remaining 150,000 litres, 204,000 litres. So yeah, 190,000 litres we're going to be left with today. So really need to find a way to get that sold and get that gone, hopefully at this price. Very tempting to buy the yard here and put a ramp up and then get a truck with a bigger trailer on and take more at once. But as I said earlier, I'm open to suggestions. If you've got a suggestion on how we can do this quicker, please drop it in the comments. Very interested on what your thoughts are. The snow has finally started falling here on the Western Wilds, and it's just gone 5:15. This is our 12th and final delivery to the railway station today. Want to get this in, see how much money we have left, or see how much money that we come out of today with. I reckon about just over 74,000, maybe 74,500. So get this tipped up and into the sell point. That is more than enough for us to get things set up. We're looking at buying a plow next time to get ourselves going. It's going to be something along the lines of this, which is only 1.5 or 1.2 meters. I don't think. Yeah, what's the difference between the Potager Servos 25 and the 2? Oh, it's just 2. Yeah, so that's interesting. 50 horsepower, 85 horsepower. So we should be able to just about pull this. But that is quite a bit of ploughing we need to do to get our fields ready. So those are going to take us a while. Let's just back this up a little bit, because sometimes it doesn't stay in there. And we're looking at, yeah, as I said, about 74,000. Wondering if that's a little bit far back. Nope, just not quite far enough back. Little bit further. And there we go. That breaks the £70,000 mark. And as I suspected, we're going to finish with 74,607. Not bad at all. We've got a good amount of money. We still have 180,000 liters to sell, though. So that is another. It's another 18. No, that's still a huge number of journeys we've got to do, and a huge amount of money that's still kicking about. So yeah. Looking forward to getting that sorted. So my grand plan for today had been to go and get our fields prepared and get everything ploughed. But as you can see, it's very frosty on the ground. And I've added in the extended info display mod because I thought, oh, if it's frosty on the ground, it's probably frozen. And yes, you can see up the top right-hand corner, the ground is currently frozen. It's -1. So we're going to try and fix the issue that we had last time. We could not transport the silage we have in our silo here to the train station quickly enough. So we're going to take a bit of a gamble. We're going to get rid of these 2 animal pens and we're going to replace them with a brand new mini BJ. It's going to cost a big chunk of our money, and I'm really hoping that the BJ is going to produce as much money as we would have got at the railway station. So let's head into the construction menu here and try and delete or remove these animal shelters. Now it does remove both of them at the same time for 8,879. It's fairly expensive to clear them, but I need the space, so we will sell that. Yes. Okay, so that is those gone. Let's place ourselves a BGA now, and the one I've got is actually my favorite one to grab when I'm doing start from scratch and small farms, and that is this one here. It is 55,000, so that's well within our price range. There are 3 options here. I want to go for the refueling one because it doesn't cost any extra, and we can also, if we ever get a methane or an electrical powered tractor, we can use that with this. So we'll bring this over here, and it slots rather nicely into the space left by one of those animal shelters and puts us fairly near to the grid with the power lines as well. So let's place that, and there we go, our brand spanking new power plant nicely in place of what was here. And with this we can take chaff, hay and grass silage, and we can produce well, pretty much everything from it. So that is brilliant. What we want to do then is we're actually going to probably sell this trailer. As interesting as this trailer was, it doesn't hold as much. I think we can get a better trailer for carting, and we'll be able to do far more transporting, an extra 1,000 liters a time with our other trailer, just getting that done. In fact, I think we can probably sell this trailer that we've got here and use our forage, and then actually outright buy our forage wagon, which we haven't done yet, and get and basically, yeah, use the money from this so we don't lose any money getting that forage wagon. Would be a much better situation here. So it's going to be all change, as it normally is when we're experimenting early on in a series and trying to get things to work how we want them to, and get the most efficient setup. So we're going to back this into here. I'm going to load this up, and we're going to start filling the BGA. Meanwhile, I want to have a look at best prices. Train yard is still the best price at 507, but our new BGA should be giving us, it's only giving us 327. I think, oh no, it's giving us 346, so it's actually giving us a decent up, but we should be able to sell more from it. So I'm expecting to make more than that. We should be able to make a decent amount of cash, especially if we go and sell the digestate from it as well. So let's tip this in, and then we can get this started and going. Oh, this is going to be so much faster. Is it going to save us? Is saving us time going to cost us a lot in money? We've got a load of silage in that. We want to activate that, and that is going to produce electric charge, methane, and digestate. We are storing all of that. At the moment, I'm going to change the output of both the electric charge and the methane to selling, and we'll see what we can get out of this. We have a good way of getting some income now, and we'll see where we are at the end of the day. I think it's going to be much harder to actually work that out overall. In fact, how much does electric charge sell for? It is currently selling for, it's got no sell point, but it's 629, it's saying, and methane sells for 809. Electric charge, yeah, we cannot tell how much we can sell our electric charge for. Methane, though, we can go and sell ourselves for a lot of money. Wow, it might be worth holding on to the methane later on in this and actually taking it down and selling it separately in a gas tank, which we pretty much know we can do. Our first hour has ticked over, and we've delivered three or four loads already to the BGA. We've just had our first hourly income from the BGA from selling of the methane and the electricity, and we've jumped 13 grand straight away. That is really, really good. That's way more than we were making from selling at the train yard. And yeah, we still got 10,000 liters of silage. So, okay, it may not be quite as much. It's so difficult to work this out and keep an eye on it. It's producing a decent amount. We're getting a good amount of money, and it's a much, much quicker process. I don't mind losing the money so much if I have such an easy access to it. It makes sense to me to do it this way. We are expecting of the remaining silage about 75 to 100,000. So if we make that today, then I will be pretty happy. But at the moment, it's just a case of going backwards and forwards and seeing if we can fill this up, empty our fermenting silo, and then at the end of the day, depending on how much money we have, I think we might go shopping and see if we can grab ourselves a plow ready to start work tomorrow. This second hour of unloading into here is going to be fairly interesting, I think. We currently have 28,000 litres of silage in here. I've just gone up to 30,000 litres. It's doing really well in processing the silage we're putting in. It's got 53,000 litres of electricity ready for sale. So we're going to be selling a lot of electricity this time round as well. And we have 63,000 litres of silage left in our fermenting silo. So there's quite a swift turnaround here, especially compared to yesterday, where we were traveling all that distance and only got about just over a quarter of what we needed to get delivered. We are well over half of what is left. And we're easily going to get this all in, well, probably within this hour, which will be amazing. I am very intrigued to see how much money all this electricity makes for us in this second hour, and we're going to find out in about 15 minutes time. We're then going to be able to do a few improvements to the yard, including getting a fuel pump to keep this tractor running. You can see our fuel level is fairly low, so I'm hoping that we are able to get a fuel pump and some fuel on the farm before this tractor runs out. Certainly it looks like that might be the case. We need a plow as well. I definitely want to pick up a plow if I can. And a seeder is the other thing. So it might be that the back half of this, we're doing a lot of back and forth, trying to get the equipment we need. I did not expect all of this to get cleared and into the BGA as quickly as it looks like we're going to. But that would be really cool. I have noticed our tractor has just gone into the red. So, yeah, I'm hoping there's not that many more loads, because all this back and forth is definitely going to empty this tractor of its remaining fuel. And, well, it's going to force us into buying something before I was expecting to. We've nearly 80,000 litres of electricity. Yeah, 78,700, 79,000. And there we go. Wow. Sold all of that. We're up to 68,000. We've almost replaced all of the money that we made. Yeah. So if we were coming up to nearly halfway through loading up yesterday, and yeah, we've almost replaced all of that money. So we are making as much off this, if not more, than we were making from the train yards yesterday. That is a really good gamble. That has made us so much more money buying this BGA and getting this turned around. I am very, very happy with that. That couldn't have gone better, actually. I was really worried that we were going to be in a bad position. We still have 35,000 litres of silage to process through there. We are down to one more load after this one as well. So these are our last two loads. And we are going to probably go over the 100,000 mark today. That is amazing. That is not what I expected. And yeah, our gamble to get this BGA has paid off. So this is our final load of silage out of the fermenting silo. We will refill it come the springtime once we've got the fields replanted, because we're going to replant all of the grass as well as planting our first set of crops. We'll get this backed up here and get this in. And that is the last of the silage to go into our new BGA. So whatever we make off of all of this is going to be what we end up with. We've got 44,000 litres of silage currently processing. We are going to have probably an equal amount of... Yes, so we get 756 electricity and 10 methane for every 840 litres of silage. So, yeah, we're going to have a similar amount of electricity to what we had before, maybe about 60,000 litres. So that is all good. We already have 42,000 litres of digestate to use on our field, so we're definitely going to want something that we can spread digestate with. But with this done, I think we might take the trailer up to the shop, get rid of that, and start spending some of this money, because by the time we get up to the shop, the next hour will have passed, and we will know how much money we've ended up with today. And as useful as this trailer and interesting as this trailer was last time, it's a little bit weird on this tractor. I'll be honest, it looks a bit big for it. So we'll take this up to the shop. We will get rid of this. We will buy the forage wagon outright, and we will grab ourselves a plow. I was a little concerned heading up to the shop here that I might run out of fuel, and we are properly in the red on the way up now. So we're just going to pull in here as a first thing, turn that off, refuel that, and spend the £81 to refuel this tractor. Then I can just pull forward and sell off this trailer as well. So just bring that to there. We'll pop over here. Tractor does not need repairs, but we want to repair and repaint the trailer. We will then sell it for 7,898. So we have lost a bit of money on it, unfortunately. Yes, I think it only cost us 9,000. But what I can do now is my forage wagon. We can just purchase that outright. It's only 3,172 to do that. So yes, we'll purchase that outright, and that works for us there. Puts us up to 72,000, so we're about another 5,000 better off. And that should be more than enough to get a plow for this tractor. So looking in here, I've been umming and erring about which plows to get. I did originally think I might go for this John Deere chisel plow, but it requires 5 horsepower more than I have. And it's with when I've only got 80 horsepower, an extra 5 horsepower is quite a lot. So what I've actually decided to go for, I think, is this F-Pull UK 4. It's F-Pull UK 5. This requires 75 horsepower. So it's 5 horsepower under, and only loses a meter over that chisel plow. So yeah, this is a pretty nice one. It does come available in red, which goes very well with our setup. And yeah, I think we're going to buy that. It's going to be 10,000 to buy that. So yes, that will work perfectly. And oh, that's going to look great on the back of this. Looks like a good plow from similar sort of era as the tractor as well. So that is perfect. I am very happy with that. No, yeah, I went to attach the hydraulics. There are no hydraulics on this plow. This is a non-reversible plow, and we'll head down to the farm and go and put this away. We're coming up to 11 a.m. and we've got 61,000 liters in the electric charge, and there we go. It's sold. We're at 98,265. So, adding on the 5 grand that this plow cost us over what we made off the trailer, and we've hit 100 grand today. That's brilliant. That is absolutely going to get us set up here on the farm. We need to get a few things then today. We've got to get ourselves something to spread slurry, so that once we've got these fields plowed, we can get a spread of fertilization on them. We need something as well to seed our fields too, so we want to grab something to do that as well. We probably, I don't know if we'll keep, no, we will keep this plow, because if we extend the farm, then we're going to want to plow fields. So yeah, we're definitely going to keep this plow hanging around. Let's put it just to the side here. Oh, but I'm very, very pleased by that. That has gone perfectly. Let's pop that down there, like so. So first couple of things I want to get is a fuel station to keep this tractor running, and something to clean it as well. Possibly a barn to put it in. In fact, I think we can get a barn down fairly easily. So if we look under sheds, there's a lot of shed options that I've got on here. I want something that is not too expensive. I did get... Yeah, we've got a small shed pack here. Wow, that is... How much is that? 30,000. We want something a bit cheaper if we can. Here we go. Old shed for 15 grand. That's much better. And I want to find somewhere to put that that sort of starts to bring our yard together. I think we put it over here. That actually begins to bring this yard area together a bit. And we will plonk it there. Oh no, overlaps with another object. I don't know what we're overlapping with. That's interesting. What does that overlap with over here? Yeah, I can put it out here. Or I can, yeah. I guess there's things on the ground. Yeah, there's little bits of wooden stuff on the ground. Let's just go and have a look over here. What is that? Are these sticks preventing me from placing stuff? Because that's a little bit annoying. Can I attack them with that? Nope. Can I delete them? Let's see. Nope. So they're not removable. I think I'm going to have to use the place anywhere setup. So let's toggle free mode. It'll be 15 grand. I'm standing inside it now. But I want to place it, yeah, about there. Hopefully fairly flat ground. I think we're good. Yeah, we might need to smooth the ground a little bit around it, but that is pretty good. I'm happy with that. Yeah, we can smooth that out in a bit, and we've got that down. And the reason I placed that is because I wanted to place this. We want to get a... Whoa! I placed that by mistake like that, but never mind. That'll do. And then we've got some vintage fuel pumps as well. that we can play. We've got several vintage fuel pumps and bits. So, yeah, I'm going to put a vintage fuel pump in here. Again, we're going to have to just place it, I think. So, like that. It's quite nice that the ground here is fairly flat, so it's not too bad. Now, can we fill this up, or is this... I think this is a set that you just straight buy from. Yeah, there's no... So, yeah, we're not filling that up with anything. It's just a straight purchase one. That, okay, so that's fine. I don't mind that so much. Let's clean up our David Brown, which we haven't done, well, since we got it. And yeah, then we can go and think about what other items we kind of want on here. And we'll work with our 1410. Look at that. Get the nice white paint job back. After all the hard work this little DB has done getting us started. I am very, very pleased to have that cleaned up. Let's just pull this up here and have a look. Is this just one that we... Yeah. That just costs us money. So we pull up to it and it costs us money to fill it. Never mind. I like having the vintage fuel tanks, really. So our yard area over here is beginning to take shape a little bit, which is very, very cool. Let's just finish off our shed. Back into the construction mode. Landscaping. I want to just run this along here and smooth it. Make sure that the land is all the same height all the way around. That way we shouldn't get any floaty areas. Oh, we've got a little bit of floating over there and a little bit over there. Okay, we do need to try and get this to go all one height. So back into this. Level, soften, slope. Right, we want to level. We want to increase the size of our level. Yeah. And I want to do it based on this corner here. Okay. I think that did do the trick. Yeah, there we go. That's got that back corner. So, bringing it out from here, leveling all of that. That is working a treat. Now, if I go into here, we should have no floating sections at all. No gaps. Everything is up to the edge. That is perfect. Let's put a floor in then. So painting and I don't want asphalt. I don't want dirt. I think I want pathway. Either pathway or gravel. I think. Everything else. Oh no, there's concrete. There's what I want. Right. So we'll enlarge this. And give it a little bit of space from the edge. And just... do that. Like so. And same on the other side. Take it right up to the edge as much as possible. Don't mind it being a little bit outside the shed. And certainly this end, it can be a little bit outside the shed. But trying to get everything so that it's nice and neat. That's the trick. There we go. So there we are. Nice concrete base to the shed. Up to the edges quite well as well. And looking really good. Really, really happy with that. Right. So with those all done, let's head up to the shop. In actual fact, the ground has defrosted. We can get the job done today that I wanted to get done. And we can start on the ploughing. That is perfect. It's gone midday, everything's warmed up a little bit, the tractor's clean, and we can put the new plough to work. First thing I want to do then is mark out the fields. We'll start with the top one. We're going to do 3 fields, I think, on here. The top one will go from the point of this tree, or just the other side of the tree here, inside our land. So we'll give it a little bit of space inside our land. And yeah, we'll go from about here, I think. So down, turn on the create fields. Like that, and make sure we are as straight as we can be. Yep. Try and hold that and mark out the edge of this field here. This is the bit to get right. If I get these lines right, if I get nice straight cuts with these first bits, then these fields will be perfectly shaped for what we want. If I don't get these first bits right and we end up with wonky lines, then we're gonna have a much bigger problem. So bring this up to about there. Right, there we go. So that is the first edge of our field. Second edge, I'm going to pull it up to about there. 90 degrees down. Keep ourselves straight. Even 1 degree off, especially on these longer runs, can create a wonky line further down. So we'll get this bit right, and then we can absolutely play around inside these borders and get things different and yeah, not worry about things once we've done that. So a slower run now. Actually, I got my foot all the way down. A slower run now is gonna benefit us more than rushing into it. I'd much rather take this slowly and get it right than end up with issues later. And we'll bring this up till we are just a nose away from the tree. That works there. Nice straight line, that one. Again, with this, we'll line ourselves up here. Make sure we are at 180 degrees before we even place the plow down. Like so. Forward, plow down. And this is the tricky one because we need to make these lines, these sides, meet up. So I'm going to go most of the way across. And then I'm going to stop short and go down the other end and bring the line back. So we'll stop short there. Go down the other end. We'll finish off squaring up this field. And then we can get this one ploughed. And this will be the first field we do. So down the other end. Line up my plough. Get it in the furrows. Get ourselves down to 90 degrees because we are way out at the moment. There we are, 90 degrees. Mark this corner. Little bit further back than I'd have liked, but never mind. The trouble, you do sometimes get odd little mistakes with these, but there we go. We are running well and running on the right angle across the field. And you can see now that we're coming up to where these two lines need to meet. So pulling that up to there. Oh, and we've nearly got our first field marked out. That's fantastic. And there's going to be quite a gap between these. We may put some hedgerows or some bushes or something in just to make these a little bit more interesting, I think. Certainly it would it'd help these windswept plains if we had a little bit more space, I think. Or a little bit more, if everything was a little bit more nice. Down with that. And away we go. Let's get plowing. So my ultimate goal here is to end up with 4 fields. 2 arable and 2 grass fields in our initial area here. Once we have the first harvest out of the way, we'll look to expand, get another area, add a load more fields onto it for the second year so that we can maximize our money. We should be able to do that. There's no reason why not. And yeah, this is running pretty well, actually, this little plow on this tractor. I'm very, very pleased with this. This was a great purchase. And it is motoring through the field. 2 meters, though, is not very wide. So we are moving not quite so fast as if we'd got that ripper, but I don't think that ripper would have been a good choice. I think this plow is a much, much better way to go with this, especially as it just seems to look great on the back of this David Brown. So all things considered, today has gone much better than I thought it would. I had expected to spend a whole load of time sorting with the BGA, worrying about where money was going to come from, and just having a horrible time with it. As it is, we've managed to start our yard construction. We've got all of our silage sold, and with the weather having let up and the ground having defrosted, we've actually got started on creating our fields as well. Not going to get through all this today with a 2 meter plow. It's always going to take a little bit longer, but we are making good progress overall. I think we'll be able to get our first crop in fairly quickly as well. If we can get our seeder next time, then we will be able to get crop into these fields and then start looking at ploughing and getting the next set done. All in all, I think we're doing pretty well, though. I'm quite pleased that we don't seem to be pulling any really big stones out of here. What we'll do is we will check the stone map after we finish this field. Just make sure that these are all small stones and that there aren't any big ones. If there are big ones, what we'll probably do is try and do a front loader to fix those. I don't want to put a front loader on this tractor, so we will probably end up with a second tractor that has a front loader on it. There's some quite nice Fords and things that we can go for that are around about this era. Also, there's I downloaded a couple of MB tracks that are sort of early 80s as well. So those would fit in with this. This is 1974, this David Brown. This is nearly a 50-year-old tractor, which makes me feel old. And yeah, so anything from sort of the mid-70s to the mid-80s are what I'm looking to use on here. And that includes, so that'll bring in 10 series Fords. That will bring in the 1000 series Fords as well. So like the 4000, 5000, 7000 series Fords as well. And yeah, there's plenty of stuff from that era. Looks like we're never really going to go above 150 horsepower though, which is not the end of the world. I think for the kind of farm we are building here, 150 horsepower should be more than enough. Well, this is our last row to get this field done. I am very, very pleased with our progress today. I didn't expect to get anywhere near as far as we have. Expected things to stay cold and the ground hard, but we have got our first field plowed on here. We need to get some, well, we need to get some slurry on here, so we're going to need a slurry tanker. We're going to need to start getting the other fields done as well. I would like to have this field planted along with one of the grass fields next time, but that's quite a lot of work to do. We do have a lot of stones on here. Just having a quick look at the stone map, and yes, they are all yellow ones, so they're all small stones, which is great news. That means we're going to be able to roll them in without too much trouble once we have got fields seeded. But that does mean that we're going to have a lot of stuff to do tomorrow. A huge amount of stuff to do tomorrow. I think it might be time to get a second tractor. So we'll look into doing that as well. For now, though, I'm going to call it a day here because we've got so much done. And we will pick this up next time. And that means all that remains is for me to say
thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. Special thanks to all my patrons and channel members. Your support is invaluable in making these videos and helping the channel to grow. For more from Virtual Farmer, check out the links below, follow on Twitch to watch live, and for more videos, subscribe and ring that bell. I will see you next time. Goodbye.